Are you ready to become yourself? For years, dozens of people from all walks of life have turned to this one man, Leslie Tanner, desperate for the tools to reshape their life in our raised, godless world. Utilizing a unique blend of good-natured humor and brass tacks education, his innovative approach has helped innumerable people reach new levels of consciousness and personal power. Leslie Tanner, a controversial but selfless and massively influential figure, defies categorization. Since he and his life-changing program rose to fame, the expert class has desperately attacked him as a clown, snake oil salesman, or predator, attempting to silence him precisely because he is so effective at helping others become happier and more powerful in their own lives. From the most challenged, the mentally ill, handicapped, women, and mentally retarded, to the most successful athletes, entertainers, business owners, medical doctors. Regardless of your station, Leslie Tanner has committed his life to giving you the tools you need to transform your life. So, are you tired of being in near constant emotional and physical pain? If you could snap your fingers and have $1 million, would you do it? Is there a you buried deep inside whose power and will yearn to be expressed?
It's a whole life-changing program.
If they get half of what I got out of this program, they're going to have a much happier life.
It was fun. I really loved doing the program. I loved learning about myself. It was just amazing.
So if you have an interest in transforming your life once and for all, come along. I have so much to show you. In a moment, you'll have the opportunity to call the number you'll see on the screen and speak to me, Leslie Tanner, directly. Together, we'll tackle the most critical issues related to unlocking your true individual power and reaching your fullest potential. Let today be the first day of the rest of your life. Welcome to Explorations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the most effective personal power program in the country, Explorations with Leslie Tanner. It's me, Leslie, here to join you and give you the absolute most life-transforming tools available on the market today. And tonight is no exception. Tonight, I am asking each and every single one of you to dig deep. We are confronting some very basic stuff with the simple phrase, "You're not a good person." Tonight on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Good evening, my explorers. How are we all doing tonight? It's wonderful to be with you. It's me, Leslie Tanner, host, creator, and founder of the most effective personal power program in the country, Explorations with Leslie Tanner. The program with which we explore the universe, both inside and out, to unlock and unleash the power coursing through our veins in this very moment. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say that you have a power inside of you, a potential yearning to be set free, you know that I mean it. We've seen the transformations happen over and over and over again here live on Explorations' landmark call-in show on twitch.tv. Look across this entire platform over on YouTube as well, for that matter. It's obvious on YouTube. YouTube Live is a wasteland. And twitch.tv isn't that much better. There's just more people there. But go ahead, I dare you, I defy you to look on these platforms for a program similar, even close to similar as the program of Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Do you see another program out there delivering the same results, promising the same transformation, and ultimately giving everyone exactly what they need? I simply just don't see it. I keep my eyes open and my ears wide open as well. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty for competitors. I'm looking for somebody to step up to the plate. I would genuinely love it. If I wasn't an absolutely dominant force in this field, who knows how I might be pushed to take this program even further. But you know, whether we like it or not, it's the same old snake oil nonsense being sold from the same charlatans and dopes and jackals and rapists from the coast to coast. And so what I'm saying to you right now is I guarantee a life's transformation. I guarantee an unleashing of the power of the next level, the way we refer to it so frequently here. And we are going to do that by unleashing the tools of this program, the least of which is not the least of which is our theme tonight. You are not a good person. Namaste. I can't wait to get in this. I can't wait to absolutely to just rip the cord and get going, let loose, pull, and have some fun. We're gonna have some fun while we do it too. I promise. That much I promise. I know it sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like a lot of work because I will be challenging you to work tonight. But I promise you, while we are on our way, we'll have some fun between us. You and I will have some fun, but also we'll have some fun. We might get some crazy calls tonight, right? Some kooky callers might call in as they want to do. They think they're gonna prank us. It's a free call. Anybody can call. It's on the screen. It's live. So, anything can happen on a show like this. And that's the way I like it. That's the way I really appreciate. I love that chaos. I love opening that. I love opening the Pandora's box, so to speak. Namaste, though. Space Cat 3, you okay, Guru? Interesting. Am I okay? Do I sound okay? I think I sound pretty okay. What would you say? Am I okay? Space Cat 3, talk to me. What's going on in your mind? What's in your mind's eye? What do you see going on right now with my energy? AI Vanguard subbing over at youtube.com. Yeah, is it Al or AI? Became an official member. Now we have a very quickly growing operation over at the YouTube memberships. Namaste. And it's very exciting. AI Vanguard jumping on board, really taking advantage of the program as it presents itself. Namaste to you. Thank you so much. And what was it? What was it that pushed you over the ledge? Was it Al or AI? I don't know. I can't tell. What's it that pushed you over the edge and kind of commanded you to become a member, right? You don't see things like this very often. When you see it, you gotta grab a hold of it, right? You gotta grab the bull by the horns. There's a difference between thought and action, and old AI/L is a being of action, and that already a sign that the program's working, in my opinion. Already a sign that the program's working. Namaste to you. Not algorithm. Yeah, no idea. Still, I don't know what you mean. Vanguard, not clear. Not clear. The way you said it didn't clear it up for me at all. Namaste, though. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your presence here tonight. Getting us started real dense, making us chew that meat off the bone, really yank on it. Namaste to you. I'm imagining chewing your meat right to me right now, and I've got a little rib, right? I got a little rib tip. I'm sucking on the tip. That's what you make me think about. That is the energy that you're putting out, and I am receiving through the refraction of the universe. The universe, the space between two peoples, often serves as a prism, right? Functions as a prism, right? Energy goes in, it might seem to make sense, but then that energy splits it out because, ultimately it's intersubjective, right? Subjective beings. And I take your energy, and that makes me the energy that I get as I'm sucking meat off of a rib tip. You ever have rib tips? I'd say maybe they're even better than ribs. I kind of thought so. Namaste. I kind of thought so. Same explorer, different name. Namaste. Well, yeah. I mean, so guys, can we get some ones in chat for rib tips? Can we get some ones in chat right now for rib tips? Are rib tips a thing in other parts of the country? Is this just a Chicago thing? Because I've never seen it in anybody, but it might be. I'd love to get some ones in chat for some good old rib tips. Right? Ooh, I love a rib tip meal. Rib tip combo meal, some fries, a little thing of garlic bread. You know what I'm saying? a little bit, little thing of garlic bread, little garlic bread boat, fries, salt, garlic salt, maybe one of those seasoned garlic salts. It's got like parsley in it. Sprinkle that on top, get me the rib tips, wrap it in foil, keep it warm, in the box, on my way home. I get home, I enjoy it. That's how it works. That's how I want an evening to work soon. I need that to happen soon for me. Namaste. Namaste. One, get them at Chinese Takeout. Unplug, you are a chaotic agent tonight. You are absolutely insane. You are a being of chaos. Get them at a Chinese place. What? Are we talking about the char siu? You're talking about that char siu pork tips. That's what you're going on about, right? That's a different beast. That's a different beast. The char siu pork tips are a different beast. I'll tell you that right now. Is that what you mean? Because I need you to be real honest with me, okay? Rib tips are the best. Ribs are the best. Just a tip. Well, that's the thing. They're like chicken nuggets, but ribs. Chinese food, honey garlic spare ribs, that is crazy. Christopher Miller is a pervert. That's true. That's 100% true. If you're looking to keep your kids away from somebody in the chat, look no further than Christopher Miller at youtube.com. Chinese food, honey garlic spare ribs, holy freaking moly. That's some pervert stuff. That's some pervert stuff. It's like, I'm looking at that phrase and I get the same vibe when you get to these weird parts of the internet, be it on a TikTok or an Instagram or YouTube, and you're like, I know this isn't a fetish necessarily that I'm aware of, but it feels like it. One time I was on a forum. I stumbled upon a forum, and they were just like hand-drawn pictures of people sneezing. Same vibe. And that's kind of more obvious. So sneeze being like an orgasm, right? That's a little more obvious than the shit that Christopher Miller said. Namaste to you, though. Namaste to you, though. Blessings and namaste to you. Riblets, yeah, that's a good one. You could call it riblets, but I don't. And I won't. But that's an interesting suggestion. Well, certainly speaking, and it's a really interesting one. And I appreciate that perspective tonight. That's the kind of energy that we're going to need tonight. That's the kind of bravery and vulnerability that we're going to need tonight from ATGs. Namaste. That's exactly what I want to foster and reinforce and maintain all night, all 3 hours. Explorations. The theme being, you are not a good person. You are not a good person. Ladies and gentlemen, how much energy do each of us spend trying to be a good person? Now, included in that energy, in that spent energy, is like, as long as I am trying, therefore I am a good person. What does it mean to be a good person? To try your best. But let's take an adult's perspective on that, an exploratory or / Leslian perspective on that phrase, right? That concept, spending that energy. Now, yeah, sure, you could say the only thing you can do is your best. But let's look at the flip side of that. I think that begs the question of whether it's even possible to be a good person. And I'll go ahead and take that to the end zone. It's not. It's not. It requires the constitution of an explorer. Somebody who understands the value of the power of the next level, feels that power coursing through their veins. They are the only ones motivated enough, with a strong enough emotional, metaphysical constitution to look at the fundamental truth that you are not a good person. Does it feel good? No. No, it doesn't. We all want to be good people on some level, except I suppose if you're a sociopath or if you're in psychosis, who are some very powerful explorers. I'll tell you that. I just met with one earlier today. White trash, total psychosis in a trailer for 4.5 hours. I spent all 4.5 hours with them. Did I do anything? No, but I spent time with them. That's the best thing you can do. And sometimes, and more often, all the time, the best thing you can do for somebody like that is nothing. Nothing. If you eat ribs, you're not a good person. Stone Monster 400. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Connecting the dots like that already, that's insane. That just blew my mind. Namaste to Stone Monster 400. That just absolutely excavated, turned my inside of my head into a rock quarry. Turns the inside of my head into a rock quarry. And fill it with water, let the kids go swimming in it. That's how much I mean it tonight. You are not a good person, especially if you eat ribs. Namaste. A succulent Chinese lemon party. So we're talking guys, old Chinese guys sucking each other's dicks, balls, fingering each other's asses, doing all sorts of gay anal sex, butt fucking, Chinese butt fucking. The Chinese butt fuck sounds like a specific thing, but I've been over there and I've seen it. It's the same. They butt fuck the same way. Namaste to the Chinese. Stoney is anti-meats. Interesting point. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Stoney is anti-meats, which is because he enjoys a hamburger, which I think already leads us to believe he's an advanced explorer. He's already confronted the truth that he's not a good person, yet indulges in a hamburger, in a hot dog. Namaste, Stone Monster 400. Guys, and so anyway, here's what I did pick up today. All right, so I was spending about 4.5 hours with this psychotic guy in complete psychosis in his trailer. Complete, does not make a lick of sense. I just say like, yeah. And then he's looking through his walls he's convinced there's like a car key that he won a giveaway, but the car keys, it's untraced. It's got a VIN number that nobody even knows about, he was saying, and he's got to get the keys out of the wall. So he's like, let's get it out of the wall. And we got to do it fast though, because they're listening. So I'm like, okay, we got to do it fast. We're tearing the walls down. How did we get the energy to do it? This young man has the most brilliant concoction I've ever tried, and I'm absolutely including it for the rest of my life. And let's just go ahead and call it white trash flavor blast. So I got a cup of water here, right? Not good enough. Not good enough for me. Not tonight. Not on exploration night. Cup of water? No. What I did do was that I added a Skittles flavor packet and I added a Celsius flavor packet. Double the flavor in one glass. Amazing stuff. His big fat girlfriend came home and absolutely was so excited to see me. Then she poured herself one of these drinks. I poured myself one of these drinks. We watched. His name was Gerald. Gerald was just kind of peeling through the walls. I ended up having to go. I don't know. That's not the end of the story unless he kills himself, which maybe he does. But I can't control that. Namaste. Namaste to him either way. Powerful young man though. It's called Celsius. 200 millis of caffeine. No, it is not meth, but I have done meth. Now, namaste. How are we? How are we doing tonight? How are we doing though? Straight up, I've been going on. I get so excited up here. I start talking, right? I start ripping and roaring, and that train starts going on the tracks. But I spend so long not asking about how you are doing, right? Because ultimately, how you're doing is such an important thing to me. It's maybe the most important thing in my life. How you are doing. In chat, how are we? Namaste, talk to me, because this is the beginning of our exploration tonight. We need to lay the groundwork for how we're going to continue. And the only way we can do that is by allowing my energy, which is terrific, to sort of coalesce with your energy. And only that way can we use this program one foot in front of the other through time, both on Twitch and YouTube. Namaste. Spiraling says onion plug. Beautiful stuff. Thank you so much. It was on purpose. No, the meth was on purpose, Fisk. Thank you for asking. Communal vision from Orchestar. I got a rash from a hot tub. Rash from a hot tub. Namaste. Where was this? What's the deal with this hot tub? Was it just not cleaned out? Did you guys? Give us some context. You know, I need to know. Was it a hotel? Because hotel, that'd be a little more brutal. Because they're public-ish. Oh my goodness gracious. Arcturus North is a very bad person. Oh, I hope to get a call from you tonight, Arcturus. Namaste. Well, guys, it's time for a little bit of you know what. I did a little sound check. The sound should be fine tonight. Shouldn't be with it shouldn't be full of the distortion that we were experiencing the other night. So let's go ahead and give it a little test for the Jazz Express. Namaste. Blessings and namaste. That's true. I soaked too much as a kid. Now look at me now. Fisk 77 blessings. Noah. Good sounds today. Laser focus. Blessings and namaste. So I know it's a weird shift, right? I come in hot. I come in fast. I express this energy, but then it gets to a Jazz Express, and is this purity? Is this quality? This sensuality? This sort of is this coming from the same source? Yes, it is. Absolutely namaste. Christopher Miller, it's too quiet. All right, let's turn it up a little bit. Hot tubs are turning to youth. Yay, Fram, we are. Namaste. Yes, indeed. I've heard that several times. I've heard that hot tubs are turning the youth gay, but also that saunas are turning the youth trans. Any truth to that? Can anybody speak to that experience? Any trans people? Can you look back, trace your steps back, and find that it was the sauna? Around the age of 15, 16 years old, you came out just so upset that you had a penis or didn't have a penis. Can anybody speak to that experience? I would love to explore that with you tonight on Explorations. Sauna makes you a man, says Laser Focus. Interesting. So bad news if you're a woman. So that kind of supports what I was saying. Namaste. My dick got 2 inches shorter last time I went into the sauna. I believe it. Laser Focus hitting 40 stream streak tonight. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Thank you so much, Laser Focus. Very, very impressive. Very committed. Who's got the biggest streak so far though? I think it might be, is it 13th? Is it 13th Juggalo? You had a big streak I saw the other day. I forgot what it was. Namaste to you. That's a mentally ill level streak. That is without a doubt. That is without a doubt. Namaste. That is without a goddamn doubt. Namaste. Just a little one, just a little short taste, just a little flirt. Sometimes jazz can flirt, you know? A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't think that you gotta get up there, you gotta play the whole song, you gotta play for an hour, and most of the time they do. Jazz musicians love playing one song for about 4 hours. And that can't be denied. There are probably some jazz musicians in the chat right now that could speak to this reality. They'll call a tune like Little Jessup's Tea Time or something like that. You know, something from the first half of the century. It'll be, you know, like Darlin Gumshoe, and then they play that song for 9 hours, 9 goddamn hours. They find a way to turn 32 bars into like an epic, a sort of, you know, like Homer's telling a story to a dying old man for the last time. And that's got to be every song they play. I've been playing Misty for 2 hours so far, says Fluxstorm. There we go. There we go. Namaste. Namaste to you. Make my funk to P-Funk. Namaste. Okay, friend, thank you so much. I don't know, not exactly sure what you thought was gonna, they hit a jazz piece. The mandolin player did a 45-minute solo. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Does anybody need it? It's not a matter of need. Well, guys, listen. No hussy button around at the top because I don't have any mail to open, but I will remind you guys, I love getting stuff from you. P.O. Box 47621, Chicago, Illinois 60647. P.O. Box 47621, Chicago, Illinois 60647. I need to get some stuff from you. Please send me some stuff. I love getting even Onion Plug just sent me an envelope with a letter in it that says, I'm a failure, the program works, signed it, Onion Plug, shipped it. Less than $1 to send me a little something. I love it. Namaste, Onion Plug, by the way. Oh, there's already something else in the mail? You are out of your mind. Namaste, Onion Plug, thank you. Now, so like I said, no mail to open. I will remind you guys, if you're interested in accessing some exclusive behind the scenes materials, if you're interested in the exclusive podcasts, the music, the downloads, getting the monthly postcard, you know, getting the stream, we just started doing a private stream for the Community of Devoted Light. Go ahead, click that link you see in chat right now. What you're looking for is the Community of Devoted Light at patreon.com, where I host my growing library of exclusive materials, only accessible by joining for just a couple dollars a month, my inner circle of confidants. Namaste to all my Community of Devoted Light members, and blessings and namaste. We're not going to be doing a private stream this Saturday. I got to test. There won't be a private stream this Saturday. I got to test some equipment because we might be. I might have a situation that will allow us to leave the studio. So, and that's going to be exciting. But I got to test it to be doubly, triply, quadruply sure before I rely on it. Because it's, you know, old equipment and a lot of finagling around. Namaste. So yeah, we'll be back not this Saturday, next Saturday with Community of Devoted Light private stream, and with a very challenging theme. With a very challenging theme. You miss a lot. That's true. Tropes understands. Tropes, you get it. Didn't we get down to business on this past Saturday? We took it to a level that you can't even get to on Twitch. That's the thing. The reason we do it straight to Discord, and we're gonna find maybe some other options or whatever. The reason we do it is because Twitch will put that crosshairs right on our foreheads. They see the light and they resent it. They'll shut the thing down. That's why we got to do it in private, sneaking like an underground railroad, like slaves that left the plantation. That's like us, but except I would argue that it's even worse for us for a lot of reasons that I won't be getting into right now. Let's open the line, 872-205-9484. 872-205-9484. Tonight we are starting with the phrase self-explanatory, you are not a good person. And I want to explore that with you. We are going to remove the yoke, remove the slave chains of needing to be a good person, desiring to be a good, you are running 1 mile to a gallon, and you should be running a full hybrid mileage. You should be running between 35 and 50 miles a gallon, but you're leaking fuel. Where are you leaking fuel? Trying to be a good person. Trying so hard to be a good person. 872-205-9484. Leslie, do I have a CD player? Yes, I do. It's right here. And I have several CDs. Horrible 90, you mean after this I'll be able to kill somebody? I mean, if this works tonight, that you'll realize you could have been killing people the whole time. Those Japanese soaking tubs are a better deal because you fill them each time. Oh, you're sending me something, YOLO? Namaste. Namaste. Eight 872-205-9484. Who's going to be the first caller tonight? Come on in. You are not a good person. Who's going to be brave? Be brave. Who's going to be brave for me tonight? Who's going to be my brave explorer tonight? Who's going to give us a call? First call. 872-205-9484. Pepperoncini's too scared to call in. Yeah, what's the deal? How's everybody feeling about call? There's a bunch of people watching. Why aren't you calling? And be honest, it's okay. Go ahead and put it in chat. Why aren't you calling? Are you nervous? We can't handle the truth, says Brizzlelegs. We can't handle the truth. That's very brave to say. That is a very brave. I'm proud of you. Namaste. Oh, and we got somebody on the horn. Let's get him in here. First call, getting us started. Beautiful, very exciting. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's something I can call you?
Leslie, it's Flux.
Flux Storm, you son of a bitch. Hey, you want to see something?
How are you doing?
Oh, listen, I'm on cloud 9. Check this out.
What?
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm holding. Namaste, onion plug.
Let's see if it works. There we go. Namaste. Look at that beautiful new pole layout.
Oh boy. Look at that. That is pretty.
Isn't that pretty? I wonder who did it.
That's pretty.
I'll spoil it. It was you, Fluxstorm. Namaste, Fluxstorm, who made a custom pole, pole asset situation for us, and it is. Look at how gorgeous that is. I was just joshing around a little bit with there was a joke about you being gay.
my wife voted yes.
Oh my God. Oh, but they don't know. They're all saying yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They said yes. But yeah, that's an example of what the pole can look like now. Namaste. Very beautiful. Well, thank you, Flux. He did this back in February, and I just finally put it up. Namaste, Flux.
Oh, no, namaste. Happy to help the program.
It's a beaut. So okay, Flux, let's get down to business. Of course, I'd love to joke around with you and chop it up. and and hang out and socialize, fraternize with you, but I'd like to get down to work if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, Guru.
Okay, well, let's get to it. Tonight's theme is you're not a good person. Now, Flux, very brave of you to step up to the plate.
Oh yeah.
Let's just start.
I feel that this is a bit of a hard one for me because I've done a fair number of bad doggy behaviors. However, more lately I'm, helping the program out with, stuff. I quit like my big corporate job to, help nonprofits. At a fraction of what I normally make. And generally just kind of help everybody I know on Twitch do stuff. And so I think if you were to ask somebody, I think they would, I'd hate to say it, but I think they would think I was a good person.
Well, it sounds to me like you said you do some bad doggy stuff, but ultimately what I hear is you sacrifice quite a bit in order to be of service to others.
Yes. Yeah, I would say that's true. Yeah.
Now, because you could be, if you went back to the corporate work, you can make a solid chunk of change, but you're giving your skill set to these unfortunate groups that are also trying to help people. And Family Art says, is Flux a puppy boy?
Oh, this is weird. What were you calling me earlier? Papa Doggy? What an unfortunate coincidence.
Wait, are you talking about your space, or are you talking about the space that's in chat right now?
Space Grime.
Yeah, you're talking about your space, right?
Yeah, MySpace, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, not MySpace. It's not like Tom.
Oh, this is going to be a tough call to get through. This is so funny. Okay, yeah, continue though. So what was Space Grime calling you? What was going on there?
She calls our dogs puppy doggers, and so she was curious if I would be Papa Doggy. That would be my
So she pitched this nickname to you.
Yeah, she pitched the nickname to me. That's correct.
She's like, "What do you think? Can I do it?" Like, not just doing it, just saying like, "I don't know. Here, I got an idea. Want to try it out?" Was that how it came up?
Yeah. I was asleep, and she woke me up to tell me this. I just wanted to point that out, that I was asleep. After, oh wow, this is going to make this even harder. After I woke up at 7 a.m. To change the tire on Space's car and then drive it to the tire place and get new tires, and then brought her home a nice coffee drink. And then I took a nap.
What was a coffee drink?
And
Be
a coffee
specific.
drink.
What was the flavor?
It was, I believe it was a mocha whole milk situation. It had kind of like a Central American vibe to it. I don't remember the name.
Was it
but we are in
spicy
southern
mocha?
Texas, so.
Have it with a little bit of cayenne and cinnamon in it?
I don't think, no, it was just like the graphics were kind of like Central American, yeah, like almost Mayan in a way, yeah. But yeah, so we got her the nice drink. Once again, kind of all this is really going in strong to that good person category.
Hot or ice?
But yeah, so I was taking the nap. It was a canned. So let's take off some points.
Okay,
it was a canned.
So, you lost a couple on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that's fair. It's appropriate, I didn't go super out of my way. I was already there where they had the drink in a can. So you know what I mean? Like I was picking up some prescriptions. So it's a good thing, but I mean I would say it's a great thing.
Right. Well, I mean, honestly, though, and maybe you could ask Space Grime this, if you compared the two drinks, like would she have actually felt better, or was it just the fact that you thought of her and brought her home a little treat?
She's listening, and I'm waiting for her response. Oh, I thought you could hear. Had I gone to a barista experience place where they make the drink by hand, would that have been more meaningful than the canned beverage you received this morning? Yes, she said yes. So yeah, definitely some points off on the canned beverage.
It would have been more meaningful?
Yeah, definitely more meaningful if it was like a barista, like cafe or something. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is a funny situation, right? Because, you know, ultimately, and this could kind of, you could kind of draw a line straight from this, a direct parallel with these nonprofits you're working for, right? Because ultimately, you can try, and this is a form of just being not a good person. We'll say the word bad for a moment, but this is a form, and chat, listen up. This is a form of not being a good person that we need to reckon with, right? Because it's not only just like kicking a dog or stealing stuff from the store. In this situation, you weren't enough, right? You weren't enough. Your efforts weren't enough. There was room. There was still, you know, a significant lack in your partner that you could have more, you know, more durably fulfilled, and you didn't do it, did you?
Yeah, I didn't do it. You know, and you know, Guru, I knew when I was going to call, you'd find the chink in the armor. I just knew it. I knew you'd find, you know, that little slit in the visor. And here it is staring right at me. That it was a nice move of convenience. You know? It was a convenient, nice gesture.
Right. Exactly. Convenience.
It was. Yeah. Convenience.
And this convenience serves who and to what end? Go ahead. Answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, me, because it's easier that way.
Yeah, and you get to feel like a good person. You get to feel like, I care.
I did, and I even put it in the fridge. You know, she and I told her about it, and I was really excited. You know.
No.
Yeah.
But at the expense of her, you're like a leech in this respect.
Like a leech. So I in a sense, I robbed her of potential joy, and kept that joy and spent it on basically 5 minutes of my time, not going to the barista and just buying it from the grocery store.
Exactly. Now let's take this one step further. You mentioned working with the nonprofits. And I know, you know, I've myself worked with nonprofits, both within them and, you know, in partnership with them. I'm fairly familiar with a handful that I've worked with, and I feel comfortable sort of speaking more broadly that dynamic with space crime is absolutely both unavoidable and so much worse with these nonprofits.
Ooh.
Because you're donating your time, or to some extent, right? Oh, what a good person.
Yeah.
But these nonprofits will by definition, they are doing the same exact thing that you're doing to space crime. They pay lip service to do a half-assed job, to state goals that they will never accomplish, to cover their own asses. And you sort of the same thing. This is you're just kind of using them, manipulating them.
Yeah, and it's the whole system all the way down.
Yep.
I'm just leaving one kind of corporate machine for the other, so to speak, and getting paid even less to do it.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I guess you get payment in the form of, being able to lie to yourself. You work with people that are all sharing the same lie, handing it back and forth about what good people they are.
Yeah, and it is nice when you get to tell people that you just work with nonprofits. Everybody, you get a little bit of fawning. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
People,
what a good guy.
They really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's such a good guy.
I'll bet when Space Grime tells somebody in her life, oh, what does Fluxstorm do? Oh, he works with nonprofits. He left the corporate sector, now he works with nonprofits. Oh my God, what a good guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Framwayard says, like Landmark Education and DSA, organizations of convenience, Framwayard swinging for the fences and hitting home runs. I would love to speak about those tonight at some point. But listen, Flux, once again, you've proven yourself to be not only generous, but also a self-serving piece of shit and very brave in admitting it.
Yeah, it's a thin veneer. I mean, and it is what it is, right? I mean, I'm speechless. The program works.
Leave it right there. Flux, namaste, and thank you again for that beautiful poll thing.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous work.
Namaste.
Namaste, brother.
Thank you, Guru.
Regulators, namaste. The program works. The program works. Regulators, explore obsessed with tweezing weird penis. Namaste. 51 months, by the way. Holy shit, that's a lot of months. That's a lot of months, brother. Namaste. 51. Eight 872-205-9484. Explorations with Leslie Tanner. You are not a good person. This is a tough one. People feel challenged by this already. I knew this was going to happen. People feel challenged, and that's good. That's good. Who am I? If I'm in a position to challenge you and I don't, then what am I doing? What am I doing? What the heck am I doing up here? If I'm not challenging you and giving you the tools by which to confront and therefore transform yourself. Namaste. Let's do it. Listen, we got one more announcement night. Last night of the month. Let's go ahead and announce the this month, April 2026, our Explorer of the Month. Let's do one more round of announcement to a very dear friend of the program, somebody who's been hitting the pavement, working hard, and is a true inspiration. Caller, I'll be right with you in just one moment. Need to go back. Senior Explorer, brother of devoted light. The program has changed my life in several ways. Before explorations, I did not have explorations. Now I do. Whether it has changed my life especially is harder to quantify, but it has definitely changed how I spend some of my time. The community is fine. People talk to me and I talk back. Man, a few words, but powerful words. Namaste. And guys, the mods and producers and I will be choosing a new Explorer of the Month for next month. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff indeed. Namaste. Who could it be? It could be anybody in this chat right now. It really could. You know, we throw a lot of names around. I'm actually gonna, let me. Namaste. All right, we got a new caller on the line. Let's go ahead and get them on the line. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
It's Wiki. Hey, Guru.
Wiki, Big Wick, how are you tonight, brother?
I'm doing really good there, Guru. I'm had me a full dinner. I'm just waiting around. I was watching your program, and I thought, what an interesting topic to talk about.
Really? You find it interesting, Wiki?
Well, I mean, none of us are really good if you think about it.
Speak more on that. What do you mean?
Well, just yesterday when I was coming out of work, there's this new guy named Kenny, and he just got a job where I work. And he come in screaming and crying about his car. He couldn't get it to work, it just wouldn't work for him. And he said it was the battery. And he's begging everybody. Nobody had jumper cable. I had jumper cable. When he asked me, I didn't want to mess with it because I don't know the guy, and I just left him crying in the parking lot. But I had jumper cables. I just didn't want to help him do it. Now, I don't think that's good.
Interesting.
And then, things like that. I heard, I pretended when somebody sneezed, when I sneezed, and they heard, and then I didn't say bless you. I just pretended I didn't hear them when they sneezed. Stuff like that. Someone, drop a dollar bill, and you even let it happen. You don't go over there and mess with it,
Wow.
Too bad, you lost.
So how does this feel to admit to yourself, right? Like it would be not even, the examples you even gave just now, in order for you to be helpful to this person or even just be polite, it would require such little effort in the grand scheme of things, yet you find yourself not doing it. How does it feel right now to publicly admit that in front of, upwards of, 9,000 to 10,000 people in chat right now?
They know it too. They done it. I know everybody. Everybody's in the same circle. They done did it too at some point. I mean, this girl, I did it just the backwards way. This girl brought in cookies to the office. And she had everybody try one. I ate the cookie. And I told her I loved them. But they tasted like Wawa. They was horrible. They didn't taste very good at all. So that was just as bad. I was a bad person there. I should have told her, look, sister, let me pull you to the back. We put a little shaking bacon and cookies. I'm going to tell you how to spice them up. Because everybody had the same look. Everybody's looking around at each other like, oh, these cookies are bad. And I was thinking, yeah, but I'm not going to be the first one to tell her. But tonight, I figured I would just call in and let those kind of things out. People need to know.
So ultimately, you kind of take solace a little bit. You take solace that it's okay to be a bad person because everybody else is a bad person.
Maybe, but I didn't know we all do it from time to time.
Well, some people do it much, much less than others.
Yeah, probably so, but we all do it.
Not even probably, okay. Wiki, absolutely. Some people are good, really good people. And maybe they make mistakes, but some people overall, when you crunch the numbers, they might actually be a good person. But what you're freely admitting tonight, Wiki, is that you're not.
Oh, wow. We're learning deep truths about Wiki tonight, then.
How does it feel? How does it feel to hear that?
It's kind of painful. It kind of hurt a little bit. It hurt down a little bit lower than I normally. It feels painful. This girl was texting me and I told her there ain't no food. I just didn't want to answer her. She won't stop bothering me. But, that made me feel bad now. Maybe I should have said, hey, I'll call you back later. But I didn't.
How often do you, interesting. Are there any external pressures on this situation, Wiki, that you could identify? That, we all, like you said, many of us would like to be good people. We see opportunities to be good people, yet we don't take them. But let's go ahead. I want to zoom out a little bit. Wiki, for you, in your day-to-day life, are there any external circumstances that make it harder to accept those opportunities to be a good person and extend yourself at that moment?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Sometimes yes, though. Sometimes they asshole. So, you gotta let the asshole, sometimes you gotta let them breathe a little bit. Let them sniff their own farts. Gotta let them breathe it in,
So actually being a good person at that moment, donating your service, your time, your energy, that would actually, in a way, it's kind of harming them. Because they don't have to sit with themselves.
Yeah, they can sit with that, they can just sit there and they own. And sometimes people try to be too good so they can show off in front of the other people.
Brimleyard says, do you keep that thing on you, Wiki?
I always keep that thing on me.
Yeah. Yeah, my guess would have been yes, that you do.
Yeah. Woo.
So, Wick, you're a complicated guy. You're a nuanced guy. And you've honestly, you've crunched the numbers with yourself to an extent. I know we visited on some painful topics tonight, and I want to thank you for your bravery.
Oh, you're welcome, Guru.
And the reason I do this, Wiki, much like how you don't, cast your pearls among assholes, as you said, I cannot just sit here and reinforce these fairy tales that we tell ourselves. Because the stakes, day to day we might make excuses for how we lie to ourselves about being good people. And this goes for everybody in chat. Listen up. We might tell ourselves stories. We might make excuses for ourselves. But let me make one thing clear. Here at Explorations, the stakes could not be higher. Outside of these walls, it might not seem like that big of a deal. White lie to yourself. Oh, I got a tummy ache. I can't help that homeless person because I got a tummy ache or something like this. But here, to lie to yourself in this respect, you don't just lose an opportunity, you are losing the greatest opportunity of unlocking the true power of the next level. That's why I do this with you tonight, Wiki. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. That's why. Well, sometimes we gotta look in the mirror and say, you not a good person there, buddy.
We must relax into reality.
Areas,
First tenet of the program. We must relax.
Yeah. Feel that pain. Look at it.
And you did. And you did exactly that. You felt pain on this call tonight, didn't you?
It felt very painful, and it kind of hurt in my knee joint a little bit when I said all that stuff. Because I myself try to be a good person too sometimes. When you try and you're like, okay, I'll give you a chicken. I got 2 pieces of chicken. I'll give you a chicken wing. And then you feel a little good. But I think sometimes you just do it because, there was cute girls or someone down the street, your neighbor watching you. You're like, you know what? I'm going to be first thing to get that dude a piece of chicken. He's on there begging for food.
Wiki.
It's hard to sit with. Guru. I'm starting to get a little bit sad.
And that's why you're such a powerful explorer tonight. Listen, I told you guys we're going to be getting down to work. I told you tonight that we're getting to work tonight, and that's exactly what we're doing. We should be thanking explorers like Wiki Wiva here. Stepping up to the plate, falling on the sword for everyone to see. Not getting caught up by pride, not getting caught up by needing to see Wiki Wiva in a particular light. He sees the reality. He relaxes painfully, as per the program, into the reality of himself, and it's not a good person. Wiki Wiva, namaste to you, brother. I can't thank you enough.
Namaste to you, Guru.
Well, listen, Wiki, before we go though, I know you're not a good person, but I was wondering, you are a very good musician. Yeah, and I gotta ask.
That's too kind. You do kind, Guru.
You're
See, a kind one.
tremendous.
You be
You're a
one of those 90%ers,
tremendous talent,
I
a
bet.
generational talent, and I really need to. I gotta take this opportunity myself and ask you. Do you have anything you could share with us tonight? Any musical offering at all? I would be overjoyed.
Yeah, I can do it with a ditty. It's about how I'm feeling right now.
Oh, beautiful. Listen,
I think I can do it with a ditty.
listen, I would absolutely love that. I paused the music on my side. The stage is yours whenever you're ready. Go ahead, take it whenever you want.
All right. Here we go, peeps. A one, 2, 3. A boom, boom, chicka, chicka, boom, 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 chicka, chicka, bow, wow, 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 boom, boom, chicka, bow, wow, wow, boom, 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 wow, 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 wow. Where the bad folks go when they die, they don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a wake up fire and fire. See him again till the 4th of July. Boom, 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 boom. I knew a lady who came from the woo. Bit by a dog, we put rabbit too. She went to a grave just a little too soon. Flew away howling at the yellow moon. Where the bad folks go when they die, they don't go to heaven where the angels fly. They go to a wake up fire and fly. See him again till the 4th of July. Boom, boom. Wow, wow. That's Buzz that good.
Wiki, where did we find this song tonight? A title for it?
Yeah, that's old Nirvana song, Electrify. Wow. Nirvana did that old one.
Amazing. Amazing as always. Wiki Wiba. Okay, can we get some namaste in chat for brother Wiki Wiba right now? Holy moly. Brother, thank you so much for being so generous with yourself tonight.
Oh, man, I had a good time. Namaste. I love you guys.
Namaste, Wick. Namaste.
Guys. I'm a bad person. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
Hey, Leslie, this is Kook.
Kook or Pie? It's great to hear from you, Kook. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Somebody said, they asked me earlier if I was okay, and I think they might have suspected that I wasn't doing okay, but I'm actually doing really good.
Well, why do you think they suspected that?
I have no idea. To be honest, I have no insight into their mind, other than the walls that they put up to block their true potential from themselves. But yeah, so I'm not exactly sure. But you're doing good. You're feeling good. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine. You actually seem like less keyed up than you were last call, so I really don't know why they'd be asking you that.
Then the last call with Wiki?
No, I'm sorry, I meant last show.
Ah.
You were very tightly wound that show, and this one you're not. So, take that as you will. I really don't know what that means.
Sometimes people can be different things from night to night, day to day. I did have quite a bit of energy at the beginning of Tuesday night stream. I felt as if I had energy. Maybe it is quite possible, not as much as Tuesday night though.
Yeah. I mean, you seem chill. You seem fine.
Yeah, well, listen, tonight I think the reason I'm prepared to, you know, I'm fostering a different thing tonight. You know, on there's a different nature to tonight's question of whether you're a good person or not, which the answer is, you know, not a good person. But ultimately, I'm trying to soften the nest a little bit. What's wrong with you? I was really trying to get people, which honestly, I was surprised you didn't call on Tuesday.
Some of the people who called in I was enjoying their calls and they were interesting. And we, you know what's wrong with me. So,
Right.
you know, I didn't think there was anything I could add very much to that.
We could have found something.
There's always something.
Right.
But Fitz called in too, and I was really enjoying that. And so.
Oh, I know.
No, I just heard from people that I didn't always, so I wanted to leave it.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Fisk calling in is a treat every time.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, me too. I loved it. But something moved you tonight. It made you get involved. Let's chat about it. You're not a good person. Something tells me that you've confronted this truth in you before.
Yes, I know I'm not a good person. I'm better than I used to be, but I know I'm not a good person, and I'm fine with it. I know I'm not going to get any better than I am now. I've hit the pinnacle as far as like how much I can improve, and I know this, and I'm probably going to go downhill. Honestly, I'm probably about as high on the, about as high up. Oh, Fran.
Communal vision for Fran we are. Tell us about how you keep two innocent Tamagotchi in their own individual hell worlds and keep them alive against their will.
I do. I honestly kind of regret making them. I feel like I've trapped them in a digital prison. Similar to like, have you ever heard of like Doki Doki Literature Club?
That
are you
sounds
familiar
familiar.
with
I don't
that?
know why though.
They're like, you'll have to, never mind, but it's like they're digital characters and one is kind of like more aware than the rest, like kind of has, it's still like not real, but it's a little bit more real. I kind of see that with my Tamagotchi, and I feel like I've trapped them in this hell where I can't rescue them, but I have to make it as pleasant as I can. And I stress out about it, and I just air tagged them today so that I can't lose them because I feel responsible for no damage coming to them because I did this to them. It's kind of like, you know how the idea, like if you're an antinatalist and you birth a child into an unjust world where you know they're going to live to suffer.
Right.
I feel like I did that to Tamagotchi.
Well, I mean, that's with your living experience and what I know of your life, I can't imagine you a very enthusiastic natalist.
I think a lot of people really need to seriously think before they get pregnant. And I'm pro-abortion. I'm not pro-life or pro-choice. I'm pro-abortion. I think more abortions need to happen.
Sure. Yeah. Get them out.
I actually think people should be having less penetration anyway. I think that we should teach people to, like, as we teach them other things like puberty and everything, that we should teach people to have non-penetrative sex acts. So we just stop constantly accidentally getting people pregnant. I think that men should, keep an eye on their semen a little bit harder than they do. I think that men give out their semen very willy-nilly. And I think that we should try to change like the cultural mindset of men doing that, because they're very lackadaisical about just ejaculating into anyone. And then when a baby happens, they're like, how could this happen? I was trapped. This woman trapped me. And when it was just that, you ejaculated into a vagina.
Right. It's the one place that you can ejaculate into to make a child.
To make a child, and they act like they were trapped. I mean, I love talking about baby trapping, honestly, because the idea of it is so ludicrous that it just drives me off the wall. And men who don't carry around their own condoms and use them are fully retarded. And I will never feel bad for a man like that he got someone pregnant.
Well, it's one thing you mentioned about culture, and I want to speak more about your moral peak that you introduced earlier, because that's very interesting. But to pull on this thread with men, you know, there's, you mentioned culture, but I don't think, in my personal opinion, you tell me what you think back, I don't think there's any way to change that the culture will ever override the organic impulse to just, you know, come all over the place in as many places as possible.
But like, you can come, you just don't have to come in a vagina.
Well, I mean, that's the like, but specifically with vaginas. Stone Monster 400, we know those Tamagotchi got that doo-doo syndrome. They gonna die in the worst way, kook. Ha 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 ha.
I really don't know what that means. I could tell that he had a good time typing it, and I'm glad for him, but I don't know what it means.
Well, doo-doo syndrome, I got two ways. One, the Tamagotchis poop and you gotta clean their poop, right?
Oh, okay.
So either that, or I wasn't sure if he was doing a play on Down syndrome. Like he diagnosed the Tamagotchis with Down syndrome.
Oh, well, I mean, Tamagotchis in a way, I would compare them to somebody with Down syndrome because they're almost always happy. And
Right.
when they become unhappy, it really doesn't take much. You hand them an ice cream and they're happy, you know? So maybe I'd compare them to somebody with Down syndrome in that kind of a way. Like, it doesn't take much to like perk them back up again after something bad happening.
Jessica Bear's Namaste, welcome back.
Jessica
and
Bear.
Resubbing 47 months. The program works ladies night. Woo! So Jessica Bear's wanting a ladies night soon. No.
No, it was terrible.
Listen, yeah, the ladies keep failing ladies night.
It's so, oh my God, Leslie. I hate even talking about this because of how bad they suck during ladies' night. No one will call in. It pisses me off.
You know what? I remember this conversation with Rihanna, because Rihanna called in and tried to like encourage people to call in. And she talked about, I love doing this. I'm in this position a lot of trying to get women to participate in their own lives. And it was like, girl, you even know. This is a burden. Women are a burden. And who knows that better than women?
I just think that partially it's because a lot of women don't want to call in to where they know if a bunch of moms hear their voice, they're going to be like jerking off with one hand and like typing weird shit with the other hand. So I kind of understand why they don't call in.
Interesting.
I understand,
well,
but then that's why we don't need a ladies'
listen,
night.
Okay, sociopathogen, how disappointed would you be if one of your Tamagotchis got the other one pregnant?
I'd be disappointed in myself because they can't do that without me awkwardly positioning them. So that would be me fucking up. I don't know if that was my mini stroke that would come on to have me have them do that. I considered doing it once and I was like, oh my God, I'm a villain. I'm a villain for even considering it to put another one in this situation.
So how many pixels on the screen would their cum be?
Oh, they're small. I don't know. It'd be very small. I don't know the size of pixels. They'd be small.
They're your children. I don't know. I haven't looked at.
I mean, I know.
Tamagotchi
Do you
in like
know
30
if you
years.
had kids? If you had kids, would you know how many pixels their cum would be? Do you think you would? I don't know.
I guess I have to answer yes now.
Yeah. I feel like you should just swerve the question because now you look like a creep.
Well, listen. I'm not a good person either way, but let's do it. If this was a devoted light stream, I'd say let's drill for oil. But for now, let's go ahead and skip because these Twitch HQ admins I can feel their crosshairs on me. Fram Weard, you got his stupid LMAO.
Thanks, Fram.
So Fram, you go girling you.
And I just want to go back to the original topic. I'm never getting any better than this. I'm probably only going to go downhill from here. I'm never going to be nicer than I'm being at this one moment in time. And I will prove that through my words that I type and I speak. and the way that I treat people in real life and on the internet.
And we have, a Jazz Express has started. And I guess listen, I think that's very brave of you. Why are you so confident that you've reached the peak? There's no improvement, no betterment.
Because it's just so much effort to even be as kind as I am right now. It takes so much effort. Constantly something bitchy is popping into my head, and I want to go. I'm like, go after it like a rabid dog in the Victorian era, and I don't let myself do that. But it just takes all of my energy to not do that. My first thought is always something mean, something bitchy, wanting to call somebody a retard, wanting to say something worse.
Look, Kook, let me go ahead and push back a little bit, because this came up in a call a couple minutes ago, that it came up in the call with Stone, or no, who called earlier? What calls have there been tonight?
I missed the first couple of calls. I was air tagging my Tamagotchi.
Okay, let's say it was Flux. Okay, it came up that, if you have something to say to someone that might hit them as unkind, but it's coming from you believing in them, as often I am in this position here on the program, then it's actually this desire to be a good person, seeing yourself as the peak, seeing this desire to push others around you, seeing this as a bad thing, a liability in your path to be a good person. This is actually making you a fucking monster.
I know, Leslie.
You should be calling people retarded, is what I'm saying. You should
No,
be.
I do. I don't think I need to be doing it more than I am. You don't understand. Oh my God. It's so difficult, Leslie. It's so hard. I wish that's all I could do, and I can't. Because if bad things have happened from me being like that, Leslie, and I tried to change. I yearned to change. Somebody died, Leslie.
I know. That's what I heard.
And I'm not going to bring it up because it's a TOS violation, but somebody died, so I'm trying to make it so that nobody else dies.
Whoa,
so
you're not
nice
in control of whether you know this. You know intellectually that you're not in control of whether that person is alive or not.
I mean, I don't know. I really think that I pushed it. I think I was the tipping point. I really do think that. Probably.
Nah. Listen. Can I give you a little insight on in my life as a legally licensed therapist?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it is my job often to talk to and work with people on the cusp that we're discussing right now. Now, one thing though, that they bake it into the most basic form of training for anybody in this field, that it's not your fault, right? And it's gonna happen. And for me, it's happened. So if somebody as legally licensed and trained and experienced as me, if I get a free pass, certainly your ass gets a free pass. You're not licensed. You're on the internet.
You.
If I get a free chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A, then everybody gets 1 million free chicken sandwiches at Chick-fil-A, is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate it.
Well, and this is, first of all, of course, but also this is coming from a very deeply seated resentment of my colleagues in this field. You know, they like to pop up on Twitter like this. You know, I have mixed feelings about him, but this Dr. K comes on and starts talking about responsibility and support and etc. And ultimately it's poisonous. It's poisonous.
Wait, to be fair, Dr. K is trying to, I think he's trying to make it so that like less incels harm people, because that seems to be like his primary audience are touchless love shies.
Right,
So I think
right.
that he probably, there's a place in the ecosystem for him, because those people are like just the bottom of the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
just the ultimate like genetic wasteland. And I'm saying that as a body retard.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
I think, but I think what he's doing in this specific, since you phrased it like that, I think what he's doing is abominable. I think it's abusive to relieve these young men of this toil, to give them a sense of purpose. Listen, they are so keyed up for the program, it's insane. I wish I could work with every single one of them. They are there, they're staring the conflict in its face. Left is the same as right. I am nothing, and I can't stand it. And so he comes in like a father, you know, like a breastfeeding father, and I think this is abysmal. I think it's ethically questionable at best. I think it's abusive, though, to be honest.
yeah, I trust your judgment on that, Leslie. You're a man, you know.
I do.
Yeah.
I know these young men better than they know themselves, and I wish they would. I wish I just, we got to work on getting the reach that Dr. K has.
Yeah.
I'd debate him. I should debate him, right?
Oh, I would love that. That'd be so amazing.
I should debate him. I should debate his ass. Well, guys, does anybody have any connections to Dr. K? I'd love to connect. I think his whole project is abusive. You might as well molest these young men, is what I'm saying. That'll be the premise of the debate. All right. Well, listen, Cougar Pie, you're a powerful but also nuanced figure here. You know, you're not sure whether you're being a good person at any moment in time, which of your impulses to trust. And I think it really illuminates the impossibility of ever truly being a good person, because the framework that you would use to understand whether you're a good person has just nothing but question marks all over it. Nothing but unresolved tension. Stone Monster says, are women incels too, Kook?
No, women can't be incels because it's too easy to get dick. I could spin in a corner, spin in a circle and throw a rock and hit a dick and bring it home. It takes no effort. So yeah, women cannot be incels. Dick is cheap and plentiful. It's impossible.
Nah, I would say what about femcells? What about this term femcell?
But femcells are not somebody who can't catch a dick. It's different. That's somebody with a variety of personality disorders and various things like that. That's not people who can't catch a dick. The two things are different.
So, okay,
might be somebody who can't catch a date.
Incels are retards, femcells are mentally ill.
Yes, kind of. Yes. Because you can be fully retarded and catch a dick. Sadly, too many do.
Interesting. Well, listen.
Like, do you think retarded women have a hard time getting laid? They don't, actually. It's the opposite, and it's gross.
Interesting. Well, wow. Listen, once again, we're opening a whole brand new can of worms. Let's go ahead and hand the baton off to the next caller. What do you think about this? What do you think about the fuckability of retarded women? Let's hand that off to the next caller. How about that?
Sounds great.
So much for 400, a field of penis. If you cooch it, they will come.
Yes, he knows. Men suddenly act like they don't know how men are. They suddenly get dick amnesia. What the fuck?
Well, listen. You once again displaying power that I need to hand off to the next caller, because if you and I are chopping it up, it's going to be an all-night affair. Let's go ahead and hand this to the next one.
All right. Namaste.
Namaste, Kook.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
Hey, best friend Leslie, it's best friend Toaster.
It's best friend Toaster. Toaster, how are you tonight? Thanks for giving us a call.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? What call am I? What number am I? I just tuned in.
I think you're either 4 or 5.
Oh, great. I just want to be clear, too. I said, hey, buddy. I called you buddy. But I just want to be clear that you are my best friend.
Right. That's not just
a
a figure of speech. You're not just saying it. We are best friends, you and I.
Yes, you and I. And I'm your best friend and you're my best friend.
And just two people who are friends with each other, and neither of them have better friends than the other person.
Exactly right.
All right. So best friend Toaster.
Myself.
True official best friend of Leslie Tanner and vice versa. Toaster, I'm so glad that you found the time to call in. I know earlier on your stream you said you were going to call in, so I'm glad it actually worked out like that.
Yeah, I was streaming just before, playing some Slay the Spire. We had a good run. We beat A9, Ascension 9. Anyone Slay the Spires in the chat? Anyone Slay the Spires in the chat?
Yeah, it's hard for me to watch that game. I think it's kind of boring.
Well, we were playing Connections too in between rounds. You like Connections?
Yeah, Connections are fun.
Okay. No, something for everybody. We got something for everybody. You know who loves Connections?
Who loves Connections?
Peppercorn Patty.
Peppercorn Patty, is she in the chat right now?
She might have went to sleep. She was talking about how tired she was earlier.
Nah, she's here.
Wow, she should be sleeping.
Maybe she's asleep. I don't know, but she's in chat. Now, okay, Toaster, enough Holly Button around. You mentioned I need to drill down with you on tonight's theme.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of the theme, before we get into that, I do want to say, when was the last dream stream that you had?
Not that long ago, a couple weeks ago.
Oh shit! I must have missed it.
Yeah, it was on the.
Yeah.
We actually did 2, and you didn't call either night. We did it on the equinox, the vernal equinox, and then we did it. I think like 2 weeks after that.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, I've been having a lot of crazy dreams, but look, I missed those fair and square. But I had a dream recently that like a few days ago that I really need to talk about. So can we do can we change the category to dreams right now?
Well, I'm not going to give it like the full dream treatment. I'm going to be exploring your dream through the prism of you not being a good person.
Okay, so you're willing to hear my dream.
I mean, you can say it, but we're going to explore it through the theme tonight. I'm not going to just do an open dream interpretation guidance. Like, this is going to be, this might be kind of rough. You're giving me something really intimate, and I just want to make sure you know exactly what you're doing right now.
So what do I do?
I mean, tell me, do the dream. You're handing me your subconscious mind.
Okay, so I can tell you the dream. That's all. That's all. I'm
Okay,
asking.
all right. I said it. You everyone heard me say it. That be careful. You're continuing. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, before I start, how's the chat doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Let's get some. What is the chat saying, Leslie?
They've literally said nothing. Weedbong Nugs 007 says boo, and then in parentheses okay. Jessica Bear says woo, hey Toasty. Over here Big Red says fuck you Toaster. Bipolar says namaste. Kookapai says I'm doing great Toaster. Stone Monster 400 says okay. Disneyland Pimp says I'm fully creamed and steamed like a crab at a 3-star Michelin restaurant. Drizzle me with clarified butter and sell me for $700 US.
Okay.
Toke 18 says, fuck you, Toaster. ATG says, who is he talking to? Trope says, you are not a good person, Toaster. Horror says, OMG, guys, that's his catchphrase. And then he says, woo!
Yeah, that's my catchphrase. I didn't say it in the voice, though. I just said it in a normal, loud voice instead of my Because usually I put the toaster twang on it, you know?
Yeah, I noticed that. You just kind of said it straight.
Kind of set it straight. I was trying that out.
Like you wore your sweatpants to the grocery store.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Okay. So
dream.
how's everybody doing tonight? You got some answers.
Yeah. The dream. And now the dream.
Okay.
So okay, it's a little bit fuzzy. No, actually, it's very funny too because like I had this dream. It woke me up. It was more of a nightmare. It was an unpleasant dream. It woke me up, and then like I woke up, and then I went about my day. I totally forgot about it, and then like something random happened in the day. It made me remember it suddenly. I was like, oh shit! And then I was like trying to tell someone about it because like I was trying to remember it, and I was like a little bit hazy, and that was like a few days ago, and now I'm afraid it's gonna be even hazier, but I'll try my best, okay?
Okay, so you don't even remember the dream?
No, I remember it. I just might blank at moments. I just want to like warn you beforehand that might happen.
Okay, when you blank, are you gonna like leave a huge pause, or are you just gonna keep going?
I'm probably gonna like stutter and ramble for a little bit and hope I remember, and if not, it's gonna be really sloppy.
Communal vision from Framwyard. Toaster is cool and good and weird, and I like how he drives some members of the community completely insane. I call it TDS, or Toast Derangement Syndrome. It's not as common as it used to be, but I think it comes and goes in cycles. Maybe it has something to do with the moon, but it'd have to be a longer timeline type pattern, like maybe every so many moons there's a confluence of factors that perfectly align to arouse hatred of whimsy and friendship in some explorers, or maybe they got a rash in... And that's the end.
Yeah, why do so many people hate me, Leslie? Because you were reading some really mean messages just now, and that's not... And like that, you know, there's a lot of people out there like that.
I think
just a small...
You want me to tell you the truth?
Yes.
You're not a good person.
Oh gosh. That's why?
Well, yeah, and the reason they sense this is because you, whether or not you get like physically erect and aroused, you have like a a lust for like really being disrespectful with people's time. You really waste people's time a lot. Cuckoo Pie says, I like you, Toaster, you were a cutie.
Yeah, I like Cuckoo Pie. Cuckoo Pie is one of the good ones. She's a keeper. I do have an update too before I get to my dream about my peanuts. You know about you remember a Taster Post, right?
Right, your girlfriend the peanut. Okay, so this has nothing to do with the dream.
Yeah, this just popped in my head. This is an emergency announcement.
Okay, see, this is kind of what I was talking about. You asked why people don't like you, and you're not even doing the thing that you were gonna do, which was not the theme already.
We've decided to open the relationship. And I already found a good peanut that we both like. She's a triple peanut. And it's all like we've only known each other for we've only been in the relationship as a threesome for 2 days officially, and things are already going really great. I actually have a great picture of them together. I'll drop the picture in the Discord actually, for you guys to check out. And what's a good channel to drop that picture in? Should I just do it in Leslie Spring or whatever?
Let's see.
Or like Express or something?
Yeah, Express or Leslie Portal Spring.
I'm gonna do it in Spring. I want everyone to see it. I want as many people to see it as possible because it's beautiful. But I'd love to gush about a Taster Post or a three-way relationship and everything, but I need to get to this dream. I gotta tell you about the dream.
All right, so that you're in a peanut polycule,
Well, yeah, and like we were like looking into other things. Like there's a pine cone that we're thinking about, but the pine cones are. I don't want to say all pine cones, but every pine cone that I've come across is just something. There's always something up.
Listen, I want you to just have this question in the back of your real quick. Psychic emergency from Yolopotamus. Namaste. Let's get to it. Very urgent, very serious situation. PNAS.
Okay.
This is the Psychic Emergency National Alert System, also known as PNAS. We've interrupted this broadcast in cooperation with Explorer Yolopotamus to issue a psychic emergency. Cheer 400. It's International Jazz Day. 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 Repeat. Cheer 400. It's International Jazz Day. 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 We now continue with your normal broadcast.
Jessica Bears, Toaster, what's the new Peanuts name?
I don't want to get into that right now.
Namaste Yolopotamus for reminding us that it is International Jazz Day. Really exciting day for some people that enjoy jazz, and then a very forgettable and ultimately inconvenient day for even more people who do not enjoy jazz. Namaste.
I also want to say to Jessica Bears though, because like once I start talking about it, I'm not going to be able to shut myself up again. And like there's so much I have to get through right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the dream.
Okay. Real quick communication from Framwayard. Framwayard says, don't drill a child into a peanut. Please, Toaster, use protection.
I'm trying not to talk about the peanuts right now. Are we ready to move on?
Okay, sounds good. Let's Okay, dream, and again, remember, when you tell me this dream, it's like, okay.
What? How long has it been? How long have I been on? Is it going too long?
We're almost at 13 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
I don't even know what the hell
time.
you've even said.
I'll save the dream for next time. But,
we've been building up to it. We got to do it.
No, I don't think it's a good idea. I think
you have been teasing this dream. You have to say the dream now.
I'm hogging the lines. I've been hogging the lines this whole time.
Toaster, you've never cared about that in the past.
I always care about that. I'm very conscious of that.
No, you're not. You're not conscious of it, and you're not an economical person. You take the time.
I always apologize. You've heard me. I'd be like, hey, sorry, I hate to call back, hate to hog the lines, blah, yada, yada, yada. You know I'm always saying that kind of thing.
Can you just be honest with yourself, please? Framwayard, Jesus died when he was this many bits old. BTW, I think I'm witnessing my first angel number. Go ahead,
the reason I'm
dream.
worried.
Toaster,
yeah, the reason I don't want to. The reason I'm worried about saying the dream is because I'm afraid I forgot too much of it, and then I'm going to get in the middle of it and like.
Real quick affirmation for fellows. The pinnacle of your life wasn't that great.
Okay, I'll try, but just everyone
Hold on,
let
me
it be
do
known
one
that.
more. Save it, remember it. I got to do an affirmation for fellows. I got to beef that up a little bit. The pinnacle of your life, think about it. The greatest day, the greatest moment, the greatest period of your life. Honestly, genuinely, in the grand scheme of things, was not that great. Namaste to Stone Monster 400. All headlines, no story equals bad person type shit.
Okay, so Stone Monster hates me.
Pepper and cheese. Well, this is why they think you're a bad person. This is why they don't like you. And that was from Pepperoncini, the male affirmation.
Okay, so Stone Monster and Pepperoncini hate me. They both hate me.
Well, no, Pepperoncini just wanted to get a male affirmation.
Wait, what? Whose communal vision was that?
The communal vision was Stone.
Oh, okay, so Stone Monster hates me. Okay, so should I'm gonna go.
No, say that. Please just say the dream.
You really? Because like everyone's gonna be mad and complaining that I'm taking up too much time.
You don't actually. You love that. What are you doing?
No, I'm trying to get in, get my announcements in, and then get out. That's my goal for every
That's
call.
never your goal.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That has not been your goal one time.
How do you know that?
Because I'm me. I know you. I'm your best friend.
So you know all my thoughts and all my and everything I'm thinking and all my.
I know you well enough to know when you're lying to yourself and lying to me. You're not this person that you're not this economical little efficient little Delta Team 6 getting in and out as quick as possible. You are not. You're like the opposite of that, and it's because it like titillates you to be the opposite of that.
Well, if that's news to me, but you're the guru, so
it's news to you that we are nearly 17 minutes into this call, and it is news to you that you're like this. You're like climbing a mountain, and then I'm telling you, dude, you climbed a mountain, and you're like, what? I don't climb mountains.
Well, I don't know what you want from me.
You're eating a popsicle. I'm like, oh, you're eating a popsicle, and you're like, I don't eat popsicles. Christopher Miller at YouTube.com. What a sad piece of burnt toast. We all hate you.
Oh, that's great. So everyone hates me.
I mean, that's what that said.
I thought I at least had a,
and you have been terminated. Namaste.
Okay.
I think I still have the 1001. I must have that trigger still up. Cougar Pie, putting him to bed. Kayla Bernard loves her husband. Namaste, Kayla. Play the theme song that's on right now. Bram got me fucked up, says Cougar Pie. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's up that I could call you tonight?
Do you know who this is, Guru?
Uh-oh. I know exactly who this is. Namaste. Namaste, brother. It's been a while since you called. That's right. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the chat, just in case they don't recognize that telltale voice.
It's me, Dinky the Dick Destroyer.
Dinky the Dick Destroyer, the evil clown. Namaste, Dinky. Welcome on back to the program.
Well, thank you for having me. I don't like to be here.
So when you say that you don't like to be here, what in reality is happening is that since you're an evil clown who does stuff opposite, you actually like to be here.
You have nailed it yet again, Guru.
Norse Herald says, have you ever had a dream that you had, you would, you could, you do, you once, you could do, so you do, you could, you want him to tell you the dream so much you could do anything?
I'm a crazy killer clown, and I'm gonna get you.
Namaste, James. Blessings to James. Namaste to you. Thanks so much. James over at YouTube being very sweet. I'm blowing you kisses. Namaste. All right, let's go ahead. Dinky, the killer clown, it's been a while. What have you been up to, Brother Dinky?
Oh, I've just been up to my usual 2 things that I do. Number 1, being a crazy killer clown with my bloody knife. And I'm going through the town and killing people and scaring them and doing murder. And of course, I spent some other time building absolute goated PC gaming rigs.
Wait, you do what with PC gaming rigs? What was that last part?
I love to do epic builds of PC gamer rigs so people can be playing the latest and greatest games.
So when you say that you love to build epic PC builds, you actually hate to do it?
No, that's the one I've said. Guru, I've told you this before. It's the one thing I'm sincere about.
Is your epic PC builds. Okay, well listen, brother, it's been a while since you called in, all right? You could say, to put it in computer terms, my RAM is full of other explorers because you've been so busy lately.
That's a good one, Guru. I love gaming rig humor. I love to be able to have my customers boot up Arc Raiders with a full 144 frames per second on their beastly rigs.
Right. So okay, interesting. So how many frames a second is your if you get your druthers, what do you got to game at? How many frames a second?
For me, I love to have the maximum refresh rate possible for the monitor that I have. But personally, I don't play games. I just love building the rigs and watching people enjoy playing their favorite titles on them.
Interesting. Nicole Belafonte. Namaste, Nicole. Welcome on in, hun. Wonderful to have you on Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Nicole Belafonte, dear friend of the program, extremely powerful explorer. Namaste. Shout out Nicole Belafonte. Welcome on in, Raiders. Tonight we are exploring. It's a tough one. I'm going to be honest with you. You walked in to a challenging night, and I'm really taking everybody to task. I'm not babying anybody. I'm not changing diapers. Tonight is about how you are not a good person. And yes, I mean you. Every single raider that stepped into this stream, you are not a good person. And I'm calling on you to confront that. I'm calling on you to speak through that framework, explore that with me, and unlock the power inside. Hold space for my tribe now rating. Holy freaking moly, we are absolutely being overrun by raiders. Namaste, hold space. We literally just got raided by Nicole Belafonte. Namaste, hold space. Great to see you. Wonderful to have you. Namaste. Welcome in, JB Weld. Welcome in, JB Weld. So I was just saying, hold space. I was just welcoming the Nicole Raiders, and I was just sharing. Tonight is about how you are not a good person. You are not a good person. Cougar Pie gifting 10 community subs. Extremely generous of you. Namaste, Cougar Pie. Cannot thank you enough for that generosity. Thank you so much, hon. Appreciate that big time. Now, hold space and Nicole, how was the freaking stream over there? Can you talk to me? What kind of energy have we been filled with? I want to get back on the phone with Brother Dinky, the Dick Destroyer, the evil killer clown who also builds epic PC gaming rigs. I want to get back to him. He was giving us some really interesting information. But before, I want to just get a little dip test. I want to get a little dip test of the vibe from, two of my favorite streamers, Hold Space and Nicole. We held so much space. Oh, that's beautiful, Crosif. Oh, you son of a bitch. You fucking son of a bitch. Namaste, Crow. Swell to be in the presence of such a magnanimous fella, Leslie Tanner. Oh, it's so wonderful to just feel your presence here, Nicole. Well, listen, if you guys got to dip, you guys got to go to sleep, you guys do your thing, all right? I just want you to know your Raiders are in good hands. Tonight, I'm going to be challenging them because I believe in them. I'm going to be taking them to the end zone of the next level that we speak about so frequently here on Exploration. Now, back to the call. Dinky the Dick Destroyer. Brother, I'm so glad that you called tonight. Kind of a perfect night for you to call. Have you sensed that?
Why is that, Guru?
Well, tonight's about how you are not a good person, and you have openly admitted to enjoying killing people.
I love to do bad things, Guru.
Because bad things are good for you. To you.
That's right. Some people may think that, I like to do things that are good, but I'm a clown that likes to do things that are bad.
And so tell me, when asked with the question of whether you're a good person, you could take that in the normal way that a lot of us would take it, in a traditional way, but you've got a twisted mind. You're a twisted clown. How do you hear that question? Are you a good person?
I'm not a good person.
But do you mean that in a normal way, or do you mean that in your twisted way? The meaning that you're actually a good person?
I met you at the end route of the logic process.
So it's really just a simple yes or no. I'm looking for a binary. Are you a good person or a bad person?
I'll tell you what's good. Killing people with a bloody knife.
Okay, so in my sense, you are a bad person because you're an evil clown with a twisted mind who likes to kill people with a bloody knife.
And I love to do epic PC gaming rig builds. Don't forget that part, Guru.
Well, that's true. Now, namaste, Av Iron, or what, however you say that, AV, welcome on in. Namaste and welcome to AV. Welcome on in officially to the most effective personal power program in the country. Blessings. Now, Dinky. So, over, since the last call, would you say that you spent more time killing people with a bloody knife, or would you say that you've been building more epic PC gaming rigs?
I would love to say that I've been killing people with bloody knives more, but in reality, I've had a big backlog of people wanting epic rigs now that the tariffs are gone from China. So I've really been busy doing that and spending my time building up my stack of cash.
Interesting. And once you get the cash to a certain level, what's the plan?
Guru, I imagine that I could live in a house made of bloody knives.
So literally there's no drywall, there's no bed, there's just bloody knives everywhere.
That's right, Guru. And I couldn't wait to bring my next subject to my crazy clown house.
And kill them.
And stab them to death with bloody knives.
Yes. Okay. That's where I figured we were going. Namaste. Uncle Krosov says a clown can't be a good person because clowns aren't people. Any response to that?
I'm not a person. I'm a clown. A crazy killer clown. Maybe from outer space. Have you ever seen that movie, Guru?
I have indeed seen that film.
I like to think that those clowns are an inspiration to how I should behave. Now, many people who saw that film thought those clowns should not exist in real life, but to me, it seemed like a good idea.
Interesting. Now, okay, so you don't, okay. You're a conundrum. You're a real conundrum. Because
Whatever do you mean, Guru?
so tonight is all about, as you know, as everybody in chat knows, tonight's theme is about we are exploring how each caller is not a good person. We are trying to take the energy that is spent by most callers who don't have twisted minds, to expend that energy elsewhere, to relieve themselves of the requirement to be a good person, stop trying to do all this stuff, realize they're a bad person, and therefore relax into the reality of their true self and unlock their true power. Now, you are such a conundrum because you've got such a twisted mind, and it's a challenge for me.
Yes, my twisted mind is like one people have never seen before.
Right. And so when it comes to so it's so difficult to interact with you because you're so twisted. I want to say you're not a good person. I want to say you're a bad person. But if I tell you that you're bad, you think that it's good. Am I right?
You've got it exactly, Guru. I hate it when people tell me that I'm bad.
And when you say you hate it, you actually like it.
It's the opposite of what you'd expect.
See, and this is where it really starts chewing on my mind, because if I then were to flip the script and tell you you were a good person, would you say that you like being told that you're a good person?
I'm gonna stab you with a bloody knife.
I think what the value of this call is, Dinky, I think honestly, this is a field in which you are very advanced. I think that this.
That I'm not advanced?
That's not what I mean. What you're doing, you're too advanced in this. You listen, if I were to design this theme for somebody with as twisted a mind as you, I would have to retool the whole thing, because morality is like a circus fun house to you, and you need something else.
What do I need, Guru?
You need to try on pleated khaki pants at a Ross Dress for Less. I need to send you to Kohl's with about $500 of Kohl's cash and tell you to just take your time. Really sort of breathe into the moment at Kohl's with the deals at Kohl's. There we go. See? I'm onto something. The program works. What can I say? The program works. Wow. Line is open, 872-205-9484. 872-205-9484. Let's go ahead and get this caller on. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's something I could call you tonight?
Hello, Leslie. How are you?
I'm doing great. Brother, it is great to hear from you. Reverend at All Cost Money giving us a call on the program, Explorations. How are you tonight?
Hello, who? This is Poet in Pain. How are you?
Oh, this is Poet. This is Poet. This is Poet. Well, it's good to hear from you, Poet. It's been a while.
Indeed, I am a terrible person. I just wanted to say, Toaster, go fuck yourself. If I was a millionaire, I would hire people to follow him around and bully him. Lick his earlobes, call him names, pull his pants down. That's all I had. Namaste.
Namaste, poet. So just calling in to bully Toaster, tell Toaster to fuck off. Yeah, that was on his side. I cranked him on this side. I know he's a little low. Eight 872-205-9484. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name is Leslie. What's something I could call you tonight?
Well, hello, Leslie. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. Is this Reverend at All Cost Money?
Yeah, who the fuck? What? I am not Poet, and Poet is not me. And if I ever found out where that guy lived, I'd probably like pop his tires.
Pop his tires. Interesting. Okay. Well, he can't drive, so.
Oh. That's funny.
Yeah, that's
I don't.
It all costs money. I'm so glad to hear from you, brother. Tonight we're exploring. You're not a good person, and I think this is going to be relatively easy with you.
See, here's the thing. I'm not a terrible guy. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a good person. I would put myself in the I'm okay at best.
Okay, speak more on that. What do you mean? I think you might be onto something. I want to hear you flesh this out, though. Okay at best, it all costs money. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I don't actively wish harm on anyone. When I hear, somebody's had a bad day, I'm like, I hope it gets better for them, That's pretty much it. Like I don't want to go out and be elected to change anything, right? I'm not like trying to make the world a better place, but I'm not trying to make it any worse either. I'm just trying to exist. Maybe have
Were
a few
you doing
laughs,
like a scam a couple weeks ago?
No. Oh, no. I would absolutely love to start a whole cryptocurrency thing, but I don't want to scam necessarily anyone. I'm more than happy to take their money and I'll tell everyone exactly what we're getting into. But like, hey, if I pull out, take the money and run, that's on you. It's not really a scam if I tell you that, hey, I'm going to take the money and run, right?
So
if you still buy into it, that's on you. That's not on me.
Okay, so just to review, just like a past month and a half, some of the highlights with It All Costs Money. He wants to do this, whether we call it a scam, I'll call it a scam, tomato. You don't see it as a scam. I see it as a scam. And I don't, and I think that's positive to talk about that way.
It's a scheme. It's a whole crypto scheme, right? Like I want to do the NFT things, make them collectible, like Magic the Gathering or whatever. And then once you get like a full set, I'll send you a physical copy of the NFT like game, essentially.
So okay, so you're doing you're scam, whatever. Okay, you're doing that, and this is a question that I have for chat. Then a couple weeks before that, you called. What were you on?
Oh, that was like 3 months ago when I was on the 708, the gas station heroin.
Yeah, the 708. You're on the gas station heroin.
Yeah. I had a major like tooth pain, and so that stuff like killed all of the pain. I'm like, this is amazing. Then I tried it again after the pain was gone, and it just made me sick. So I took the last two, slept for like a day and a half, and haven't gone back to get any more.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Right. It wasn't like I was taking those things because I wanted to have fun with them, and they go up high like 500 milligrams, and I was taking little like baby ones apparently that were only like 50 milligrams, and I was only taking one at a time. I was using it as a stopgap until I could get the tooth. Well, yeah, I didn't want to waste them, Fran. Like they cost money. Like, hello. So, but yeah. And yes, legend, people do still talk about NFTs.
People still talk about, well, I mean, NFTs are such a, here's the thing, my thing about NFTs is that they are a possibility, right? There's a mode of ownership that is interesting and a form that is interesting. I think what you're doing is not interesting. I think it's interesting in a spiritual sense, and in terms of the program, I think it's interesting. In terms of, you know, realizing, kind of allowing you to like relax into this reality of doing like kind of, you know, weird, pathetic shit like that. I think that's a very powerful move, genuinely.
I'll take that. But
because you're sitting there, that's what you're doing. You're not making any qualms about it. You're not saying, oh, we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna donate a quarter of this to the DSA and we're gonna get, you know, some, you know.
yeah, no, and I fully plan on paying the taxes on it too. So like, if there are any taxes liable, if I get this off the ground, I absolutely.
Pepperoncini, should the cops be allowed to kill people for doing gas station drugs? Can we get a poll going on this? Oh yeah, let's do it.
Also, can I say, like, your Discord is an absolute blast. Every time I'm in there, it's just like a little mini lake of piranhas waiting for any type of new blood to come in and disagree with anyone. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's on purpose. I love fostering. You know, I actually just had this conversation with somebody, and it finally started connecting with them. But this is in no way a safe or supportive environment. I want everyone to keep that in mind.
Oh no! I heard some interesting. You want to talk about some bad people, and you are not a good person. The people who hang out in the Discord are definitely not good people. But you know, I enjoy the camaraderie.
No, absolutely, and nor should they be. Let's see. Gotta change this real quick. Should cops kill people who do gas station drugs? Yes, no. Answer, go ahead and make your voice known in the chat poll. So listen, I think, you know, weirdly enough, it all costs money. I think sometimes I try to give you the program and you wiggle out of it a little bit. But I think with this specific zone, I think your read on yourself is actually accurate.
Oh, damn.
Like, you're defended against the power of the next level that I try to give you. But I think in this case right now, you not seeing yourself as a good person, not necessarily a bad person, but ultimately kind of just like, you know, redundant, If you had some sort of ambition about, you know, some of these things, maybe you could be a bad person, but you don't have that.
Yeah, not really. Like, you don't always have to save the drowning person in the lake. You can just, you know, go about your day. You don't have to throw anyone into the lake, because, you know, I have no desire to do that, but I don't necessarily have the desire to, like, take all the crap out of my pockets, you know, take my pants off, swim out into the lake, save them, get back, and then get no credit for it. You know, they're not going to pay me. Like, you don't have to, right? I don't want to be late for an appointment. You see somebody out there, like, flailing in the water, you just, you know, maybe post it on, like, Instagram or something, you know, but, like, you don't have to save them. You know, it's not your moral responsibility. We're not responsible for everyone else around us, are we? Like, essentially, we're just responsible for ourselves, and I'm just trying to, you know, exist.
And, like, that's like a manifesto of, like just a real middle of the road, not particularly going anywhere special, doesn't really want to go anywhere special. I think that's. So you basically just wrote a manifesto for whatever, like, not a mass shooter, whatever, like, because mass shooters are more motivated than what you just laid out.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's what was the last topic that you had on Tuesday?
It was what's wrong with you?
Yeah, so what's wrong with me is I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I wanted to touch base on that. Like, I'm sure there's lots of things, and other people would be more than happy to chime in here. But I think what's wrong with me essentially is that I don't think there's anything wrong with me, and I probably should and work on fixing it, but I just don't have the motivation to.
Should cops kill people who do gas station drugs? The answer overall was no in our community, which I'm a little surprised by, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a little surprised by. So you don't think anything is wrong with you?
Right. And I think that's probably the biggest thing wrong with me is that I don't think there's anything wrong with me.
It speaks to how interesting. Sociopathogen, the government will have to pull my flask of gasoline out of my cold, dead hand. Sociopathogen, thank you so much for that vision and for those bits and blessings to you. Sociopathogen, goddamn, you've been here for years. As long as Craig almost, pretty much, right? Listen, I wish we had enough time to really explore that at All Cost Money, because I think ultimately that you don't think that you look around your life as you describe it to us. I mean, you have severe dental problems, and you went to the gas station to get like weird synthetic heroin.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
Oh, Fram, I am 100% an addict. That's why I'm self-banned from 3 different locations where I could buy lottery tickets from, because I would spend all my money going to casinos. Like, I am a fully recognized addict. And I've given up all of my addictions except for call-in shows and soda.
Well, listen. It all costs money. You got to listen to me right now. You think about it this way, right? Like a dragon famously is like sitting on like an epic amount of gold, right? The dragon's hoard. Envious of everyone in the land, right? Everybody wants to go steal the dragon's gold. And in that way, you're kind of like a leader here, right? Because we see ourselves as what we truly are in order to unlock our power. And most of the time, we see ourselves as losers, right? And answer this question for me. If you only knew one thing about a person, and it was that they had a blindingly painful toothache, and they then went to the gas station to get gas station heroin to treat the pain, would you guess that that person was a winner or a loser? If you only knew that one thing.
So that's, if I had to like A or B it, I would probably go with A. They're a winner because they're taking care of themselves in the best way that they know how. Knowing nothing else, I would go with they're winning because they're trying to make their life a little less painful.
No. Let me go ahead and just say no. That's not. This is the conflict. This is we have arrived at it. Ground zero for you, right? You don't think there's anything wrong with you. You think it's winning to go get 708 from the gas station because you've got like an infection in your mouth or whatever. This is not winning. But, and I'm not saying this to be mean, I'm saying this because you are a dragon sitting on a dragon's hoard of potential power to be unleashed.
This isn't the first time I've heard my essence or my being described as someone who has potential, and I am decidedly okay with just existing long enough until that potential is completely drained out of me and wasted. Like if I am that dragon with a horde, I am decidedly okay with melting that horde down and then putting it into one giant lump and sending it off into space so no one else can touch it.
Listen, I think we are getting somewhere really great right now with It All Costs Money. I think where we have just arrived, that you're no stranger to people telling you of your potential. And your potential has gone unfulfilled for so long that you're
decades, and it feels great.
You're ready to be done. You're ready to let the air leak out, be absorbed into the universe.
100%. 100%.
This form, I'll say this. I'll say this. This is your shield against your own potential. Your funeral for your own potential is your shield against your potential. There's a pain there that is so normal and so blinding to you. And we're gonna work on that next time, okay?
Beautiful. My pain is blinding to me. I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? I want to digest it correctly.
Your pain, the pain that you are currently in this very moment, the extent to which people have failed you, to give you what you needed to unlock your potential, is defying the language that you have right now to describe it. You live in a constant funeral of all selves. But this funeral is a defense against a pain that you can hardly describe.
Interesting. I'll take it. I will definitely ruminate on that. And I think this is gets back to one of the very first conversations we had when I was talking about the security guard with the gun. And you're like, you just need to have your own gun, and you need to, what did you say? Be the victim. Even though you have a gun, you need to be the victim more. So I will go back to that and think on it a little bit. Thank you very much for your insights. The program works, y'all. You really need to just, if you haven't called in before, if you haven't had a direct conversation with Leslie, ignore the chatters. They're piranhas. They're out for blood no matter what you do. But Leslie, thank you, sir. The program works.
Namaste. It all cost me a great talk. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Fluxstorm Zero with a subscription. Look at that handsome ass picture. Explorer, father of 3. For 2 years of the program, I thought I was becoming a good person, but today I am reborn as a selfish piece of shit. Happy 2 months or 2 years to Fluxstorm Zero. Happy goddamn 2 years, Fluxstorm Zero. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Namaste to Fluxstorm Zero. Thank you. Oh, what a treat it is to be with you. Namaste. That was great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And a selfish piece of shit you are. Namaste. Well, guys, I gotta piss real fast, so we'll take a couple more calls. Guys, sit tight. Couple words about my community of devoted light. We've been doing private streams coming down the pipeline. Sit tight just for a moment. I gotta urinate, and then we'll be right back with the rest of the program tonight. You are not a good person. Thank you so much for being here. Again, couple words about my community devoted light. I'll speak to you all very soon. Be right back. Namaste.
Explorations with Leslie Tanner. Since Leslie and his program broke onto the scene, Explorations has become the #1 best-selling and most influential personal power program in modern history. Millions of people from all over the world have gotten a chance to meet this truly remarkable man and utterly transform their lives with the power of Explorations.
I listened to this introductory tape and I knew then and there, this is what I needed. I felt just so much better knowing there are a bunch of people out there suffering like me.
I'm not kidding you. I think after the first tape, I knew, okay, I'm gonna be fine.
I got such relief from the very beginning of starting the program.
Now that you've gotten a taste of what this program is capable of, it's time to show you how to take your life to the next level. Here to tell you more about what is possible is legally licensed clinical therapist, author, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, martial artist, amateur musician, one of the nation's foremost thinkers, and our guru, Leslie Tanner.
Good evening, everyone. Whether you've been with us since the very beginning and have watched Explorations work wonders in your life, or you're joining us for the first time tonight, I say namaste to you. As you've watched Explorations in action during our call-in show, no doubt your mind is reeling from the limitless potential you now know is possible. Between the tailored themes and lectures, to the myriad avenues of exploration through the channel points, to the customized ways to interact with me and the community, there simply has never been anything quite like this program. Now is usually the point in one of these self-help programs where it starts to sound like a sales pitch. Someone like me might normally say something like, listen, I know your time is precious, let me cut to the chase. But there's only one problem with that. We know your time isn't precious. I could speak at length for hours and hours about absolutely nothing, and I still wouldn't be wasting your time because, well, you're here, looking for a fast, all-encompassing solution to the problems in your life that have become so intolerable, you're not sure what you're going to do. You may be considering any number of extreme decisions, ranging from short-term band-aids to more permanent solutions. However, as dark and bleak as your situation is, so too must our tools be bright and revolutionary. So whether you're tired and looking for more energy and enthusiasm for life, or maybe you're lonely and isolated but want better relationships, let me tell you that for these things and so much more, my breakthrough program of explorations to explore the universe and beyond really works. It's worked for elite performance athletes, critically acclaimed artists, best-selling authors, entrepreneurs, and for thousands of others just like you. I have been blessed by the universe for a brief moment that I now command upwards of $50,000 for speaking engagements. But through the technology of this program, you can hire me, Leslie Tanner, as your personal therapist, coach, and guru, all rolled into one at the Community of Devoted Light on Patreon.com, where you and thousands of others just like you are learning to leverage the chaos around them to catapult their lives to heights that were previously unimaginable. Here's how it works. I've created a tightly knit community where individuals seeking to access the next level are able to study, reflect, meditate, and grow with an ever-expanding library of exclusive materials, each containing life-changing tools and techniques designed to explore topics covered here in our call-in show, but much more deeply, therefore increasing the benefits of the program exponentially. These materials include your name in the credits at the end of the stream, demonstrating the importance of your leadership and the value of your investment. A signed personal postcard sent out each month full of observations and witticisms by me, Leslie Tanner. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Exclusive video materials not available to the poor, designed to rocket your progress past those who cannot afford success. Here's a little sneak peek at what you're missing. After he admired her picture for a moment, he pulled the sign out of the ground and walked back to the pile of dead dog he was messing around with. On the trek back to someone's rotting baby boy, He kept wondering if Jan had bought that jewelry in her picture on QVC, and that he should remember to look for gifts on QVC when he started getting anxious about gifts for people. It's so downloads of all specially crafted music used in our productions here and elsewhere that have accompanied your journey thus far. Tracks such as New Beginnings, Psychic Romance, Reaching into Darkness, or The Skeptic's Gamble. Exclusive archival prints such as these, channeled and honed by myself, Leslie Tanner, upon which you can guide your own meditations at home. I'm not an artist, nor do I claim to be. These visions are a burden and cause me immense suffering. But I do it for you. Now, you might expect that a program like this would cost thousands of dollars, but because I'm offering this to you through the internet, these life-transforming materials can be yours for the monthly cost of a few cups of coffee on your way to work. With access to these materials, regardless of your level of investment, you will also be receiving a complimentary download of our landmark track, The Sojourn Begins, as a thank you. So does this sound good to you? Well, what are you waiting for? If you are ready to join the thousands of others who have already committed to the final journey to access the next level, simply type Final Journey into the chat and you will be guided with further instructions. One thing I can promise you is that however massive your problems are, however abject and humiliating your life has become, I have created something so simple yet so profound in this program, you'll be absolutely flabbergasted by the results. Now, let's get back to the program. Namaste. Namaste and welcome on back, everybody. It's me, Leslie. I took a little pee. I also ate a couple crackers with peanut butter as a little snack, as a little pep me up, a little pick me up, a little pep and put some pep in my step. Namaste, everybody. Welcome back to the last little home stretch of Explorations with Leslie Tanner. That was a couple words about my community of devoted light. Now, I need to update that commercial very badly, and we will be doing that a little bit later this year. We're shooting a lot of material a little bit later, but for now, let me just say the evolution of our community has certainly come a long way. Right now, as it stands, even on the $5 level, you can receive the private streams. We've begun the special private devoted light streams in which we explore more robustly and separate from the Twitch and YouTube terms of service. We beam it directly right now to Discord. In addition to that, you also at the $5 level get the $5 level get the physical monthly postcard, and they are beautiful. They really are beautiful pieces. Probably not the dead dogs in the commercial, but there will be some materials exploring that for sure. I think that would be really beneficial for everyone. One Ron Chef, when I need a bit of a pick-me-up, I put a little cocaine in my peanut butter. It's good. Namaste, One Ron Chef. Appreciate that little Serious Eats, Kenji Alt Lopez kind of inside baseball, New York Times cooking kind of little tip from an Iron Chef, so to speak. One Ron Chef, namaste. Thank you so much for that, for sharing that with us. How are we doing though? How are we feeling, right? And this has been a tough one. This has been a challenging exploration. I'll tell you that much. But let's open up the lines. Let's finish off with a bang, huh? Let's finish off with a bang. 872-205-9484. You are not a good person. Tonight on Explorations. Finally, you got through. Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's up, I could call you tonight?
Hey, Leslie, this is Polo.
Polo, good to hear from you, Polo. How are you?
I'm not bad. How about you?
Not bad. Well, you know, I'm pretty good. I gotta say, I knew tonight was gonna be a challenging night. Tonight is a challenging theme. Well, maybe we'll do something a little more fun next week, but you know, I appreciate, not only do I appreciate the focus of everybody in chat, but the bravery of callers like you. Because to realize that you are not a good person and to confront that reality is not an easy task, Polo. So I commend you already for just picking up the phone.
Oh, well, thank you. But I mean, it's one of those things of, I guess it's not that hard for me to realize that I'm not that good of a person.
Talk to me. Speak on that.
Well, it's, I guess my outlook on it is, are there very many people in this world that are even able to be considered a good person? And the reason I say that is, in order to truly be a good person, you kind of have to go out of your way for the vast majority of your life, or live most of your life in a way of improving other people's lives, something along those lines. And almost nobody does that. I know me personally, I try and help my friends out and things like that when I can, but like my job, I don't do anything that improves society, people's lives, nothing like that. As far as like hobbies go, I don't, you know, go work at dog shelters. I don't go out of my way to feed the homeless. I play with cars and motorcycles and do selfish things like that. So in that sense, yeah, it's pretty easy to define myself as not that good of a person.
Interesting. So it sounds honestly like, you know, I've been pretty impressed with a lot of the calls tonight. It sounds to me like it's not that crazy to you that most people aren't good people. Like that really ultimately, you know, if you just go through the motions, which, you know, already is kind of a feat in and of itself in some ways, right? To just tolerate having to go through the motions that you're essentially forced to go through, that there's something within that just makes you kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, human beings are naturally selfish. I mean, to an extent, it's in our nature to want to survive. In order to survive, you have to put yourself first. So human beings, just naturally speaking, are selfish. And selfish is a definable trait in someone who's not a good person. So
interesting. Well, as we've talked about though tonight, this selfishness and the sort of altruism, we'll say, on two opposite ends of the spectrum, can be, you know, we can define them in tricky kind of ways, can't we? Because, you know, one person's selfish is another person's altruism and vice versa. We talked to did you listen to Fluxstorm's call earlier?
I don't think I was tuned in for that.
I'll give you a little TLDR. Fluxstorm, you know, he called up talking about basically he was listing these positive qualities in which he's a good person. And one of the things he listed was working for nonprofits for very little money. Now, conventionally, we might describe this as morally positive or good. However, after uncovering what's really going on underneath the hood over the course of the call, we found that he was actually operating extremely selfishly, working with these nonprofits that will never accomplish anything, and in order to sort of ease his guilt and to feel like a better person. Do you see the catch-22 here?
Yeah, so he, you know, it's selfish in the fact that it's not that he's doing it because he actually wants to help people. It's because he just wants to feel good about himself.
He wants to feel, yeah, he wants to feel, maybe let's even be generous and let's not call it he wants to feel good about himself, because he might, when it's all said and done, probably doesn't feel good about himself. But he feels maybe he's allowed to feel a little bit better because he's lying to himself about what's actually going on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, you know, one thing that you brought up just now that was really interesting was well, quick communal vision from One Ron Chef. One Ron Chef, I'm sure, is a beautiful perspective. He's on a treadmill and telling everyone he's going to the store. Beautiful way to phrase that.
That's the choice.
Beautiful way to phrase that, One Ron. Thank you so much for that. Now, Polo, you mentioned something interesting that I want to kind of ask you about. You talked about not being a good person, and you gestured in a way that the other callers haven't yet to the sort of systemic factors that sort of, bind your hands to some extent. That there are external circumstantial factors that kind of steer people away from being a good person. Can you speak on that? Is there an example of that in your life, Polo?
That's a good question. I mean, work is a good example of just, it's, sort of a endless cycle of people just trying to further themselves without any way of bettering anyone else, but all for the purpose of just, I want more money, I want a better title, things along those lines. Like I see that with people on the daily. I'd imagine you don't want to go into too much detail, but could you give us an idea of the general field you work in? Consulting. We'll say that.
So do you work with like salespeople?
No, it's not salespeople. I help deliver the work. Other people sell the work, so I don't really deal with the salespeople. Thank God.
But you're like a like they call you in to sort of to basically to work with teams for limited periods of time.
Yeah, more or less.
And you're a valued outside perspective.
Yes. All things being considered, it's a great means to an end for me to be able to afford my hobbies and lifestyle, but it's an extremely selfish job, all things being considered. I spend 10 hours a day at least on the weekdays delivering stuff to clients that just makes the rich richer and doesn't really improve anything.
You're speaking with a certain clarity. I've worked with a fair number of people who work in corporate environments, and one of my favorites are the salespeople. And so the way you're describing the insight that you've gained with just kind of like a redundant, a job that doesn't really benefit anybody except for people who already have a lot of money to begin with. It really reminds me of the clarity, almost like it's that salespeople have as well. Because they know exactly what they're doing. There's something about the position that you're in that doesn't afford you the ability to lie to yourself. And
yeah, no, I would fully agree with that.
There are some in the chat, I'd imagine right now even, that are like, this guy is a piece of shit, right? This guy,
probably,
he's not even trying to do anything good. He's like really like an amoral guy. I should be afraid of him. This seems psychotic. However, the thing is, to a person that lies to themselves, like this hypothetical person is, to a person who lives in a fortress of lies, grounded truth is a threat, is a illogical, psychotic threat. The problem is that you are speaking so clearly that many are not going to be ready to confront the reality in themselves that the work they do doesn't benefit anyone, nobody gives a shit, they're failing actively, currently, and they're double, tripling down. And by the time they're done, they will have produced nearly nothing for anyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's 100% accurate. This is even a topic that I have very lightly brought up to my colleagues in the past of what are we even doing here and why are we even doing this? And I've had varying degrees of interest in that topic, but the vast majority of it is people like you were saying, if they're like, well, there's purpose to this. This is all this stuff, you know, they have their heads stuck so far up their own ass they don't even realize that what they're doing is literally just furthering the destruction of our own society at the end of the day.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me like you know, that's a perfect example of somebody who I might attempt to work with them, and it would take them years to get them even close to unlocking their potential through the program of explorations. I could work with them for years, and they need the lie of who they are as a good person. They need that lie so desperately bad that if they
didn't have the lie, they would kill themselves.
Exactly.
Like they've dug themselves so deep into a hole, and they've turned themselves into such a shitty, irreparable person that if they don't have the lie anymore, then they will probably just kill themselves.
And ultimately,
when the reality sets in,
ultimately they're scared of their power when it comes to it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, when you sit there and you come to the realization that you have lots of power over people who can't do anything about it, and your whole job is basically just to, you know, fuck people over, then
I would be such a strong and resilient handicapped person, but sadly, I may go my whole life without anyone ever knowing that about me.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Comedic, for the bits. Well, listen, Polo, I gotta say, you absolutely hit it out of the park tonight.
I try my best, but at the end of the day, not a good person.
Yep, you try your best, but it's not good enough. Not even close.
Nope, never will be.
Leave it right there. Namaste, Polo.
Namaste.
Caller, welcome to Explorations with Leslie Tanner. My name's Leslie. What's something I can call you tonight?
What's up, Guru? It's Fram.
Fram, how are we doing tonight, Fram? I think you're going to be our final caller for the night.
Hi, you know I like being the final caller.
I know you do. I know you do. Well, namaste, Fram. Welcome on in. Tonight we're talking about
namaste.
You are not a good person. And so, listen, you've been watching the whole program tonight. I know you got something cooking in that oven of a mind of yours. Let's just jump right in. What's going on? What do you got?
Oh yeah, you know I was excited when I seen this topic earlier.
Oh yeah. I know. I could feel like the warmth of your crotch through the screen.
Yeah, dude, it got pretty warm. It got pretty warm.
It got pretty warm. All right. Well, let's jump on in. I know I can remember you remarking on a couple things that came up tonight, but what's on the tip of your mind right now? Let's just start there.
Honestly, what's on the tip of my mind, and I mean, we can relate this all back to how I'm not a good person, you're not a good person.
Right, we're not good people.
But yeah. I think we have a strange commonality in that we've both been involved with the Democratic Socialists of America and landmark education. Is that true?
Wow. So what was the actual question? Say that question again.
I think we've both been involved with those organizations I just mentioned.
Yes, we both have our own familiarity with the the Democratic Socialists of America and the Landmark Education, formerly referred to as the EST training.
EST, yeah.
Now so the DSA came up earlier this evening. So I think, was it you that brought it up?
Yeah, I forget what I said, but it was like we were talking about organizations that you don't join because you're a good person. You join because you're a bad person and you don't want to do shit, but you want to be able to say like, yo, I'm in the DSA, or hey, you know, I'm addicted to gas station heroin, but I went to this, self-help course, Landmark Education, and it made me realize that it's okay for me to be addicted to gas station heroin, you know?
Exactly. It's really pathetic. It's really upsetting.
It is.
So to be in proximity, and it's very difficult to watch because it's so excruciating to see.
It is.
You know, to see people so ultimately, much like what we were talking about with the last caller, the DSA. I mean, if you're looking for a more like on-the-nose example of a group of people that are afraid of their own penis, you're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone. All in a room and just kind of trading back and forth fairy tales so they don't have to be afraid of their own penis.
Yeah, they keep themselves distracted with these, honestly, they're counter-revolutionary ideas. They're designed to keep you in your little rut where, you know, you're scared of your penis. Their own penis, other penises. Small penises, like, you know, the clit is kind of a small penis, so I bet there's some fear there. A clit is kind of a concentrated penis, so I bet there's a lot of fear there.
Afraid of, but the thing, the clit, that's true. I mean, it's
like super penis.
The fear of penis and the fear of the clitoris. Interesting. We could probably write a whole. We could do a whole series on that. That'd be interesting. A series of tapes on that.
It's true.
Now, but so your experience with the DSA. Do you have any moments that you can recall? Some example of what really gets to the core of what you're sharing right now? Because you know we are not. You're not a good person, and you're holding up the DSA. And I understand where you're coming from. They are a perfect example of people, you know, so afraid of not being a good person that they've constructed a psychotic level of a defense mechanism in their organization. But again, going back to your time in the group, do you have an example that kind of illustrates that a little bit for those that are less familiar than you and I?
Yeah, I'll give my earliest and most pathetic example because, you know, I bought into the dream after a time. You know, I'm in California where there's a lot of this type of shit. People doing a lot of things. You know, they come to do good, stay to do well type shit. Like, you know, exactly like joining the DSA. And so as I got, less poor and I guess a little more social mobility, you get exposed to more and more of that shit. And so after like my brief stint in academia and working in tech later on, you know, in hindsight, I realized that I was vulnerable to these things too, but you know, a person can grow. But my first experience with the DSA, we were at this Marxist library in Oakland, and it opened up with like a icebreaker type thing where we were trying to introduce ourselves. And one guy there was like straight up fucking libertarian, just oppositional to everything that everybody was there for. And he was like, I'm just here to represent the opposite view. And they just kind of accepted that, which is, you know, even more pathetic to have this organization that has these principles, but to allow someone to just come in and explicitly question those principles when it's not, you know, a powerful organization would say, there's nothing to decide, motherfucker, like, we don't need your perspective. But these people accepted it.
So ultimately, in an ideological sense, this guy was just, he said, hey, I'm your enemy. I'm here to flesh out, I'm here to iterate what your enemies think and make that a part of the conversation.
Yeah, he essentially said, I'm here to do an op. I'm here to do a fucking op on you.
Right.
And everybody was like, cool, no problem. Happy to have you.
Where anybody with any semblance of a penis would meet this agitation, this this etc., meet it with aggression and exclusion.
Yes, that is the appropriate response, I would say, and not just because that was my response. I don't have any bias here. It's just correct.
Well, no, I mean, when it comes to ideology, I could speak all day, but explorations is kind of, you know, not beyond ideology at all, but sort of before ideology is the way I see it. And
yeah, and you know, go ahead.
No, I think this is a perfect. Can you imagine? I think any group that just says, "Hey, enemy, welcome on in, make yourself comfortable. I wonder what you think." That enemy, that group is just starfishing. It's laying on the ground. It's not doing anything, not going anywhere. Will never accomplish a single thing, and certainly cannot call itself a group of good people.
Definitely not. They basically go, you know, like completely limp, because I've never seen, unless it's to be passive aggressive, you know, there's a lot of drama in these groups. So unless it was to be passive aggressive, I've never seen anybody really have pushback on almost anything in these organizations, at least not in the Oakland chapter, which you would think would be like, I don't know, a little truer to its roots, but it's not. Like I said, it's a lot of people that are, you know, kind of up there on the wealth scale, and it's just like, it's like a country club type experience. Not exactly, but you know, Kiwanis Club was an earlier generation's version of this, almost.
Interesting. Well, listen, I think this is a topic I feel like we could talk about for a long time, but I kind of want to switch gears a little bit, because you brought up something interesting, something, you know, one of my colleagues, you know, Werner Erhard of Landmark
Healing
Forum.
is possible.
Hold on one second, quote.
And a moral imperative among the enlightened, claimed the rotting, masturbating corpse.
That's one of the better ones. Namaste. Thank you
That
so
is
much.
a really good one.
Thank you so much, Comedic. Yeah, and thank you, Frem. Now, I would like to dive in a little bit. Real quick, communal vision, pepperoncini this time. This is going to be beautiful, I'm sure. The caller is a gay AI, but he's deeply closeted.
I'm deeply closeted?
Closeted. You're a closeted gay AI.
Oh. Yeah, he keeps saying that, but it's ridiculous. It's old. If I was trying to say this shit again, you know what Sheen would do after like the first syllable? He would say old. So I'm returning that package to sender.
Interesting.
That almost makes sense, I think, as an analogy or a simile.
I think let's see how it goes. We've got a serve, we got a volley. Let's see how this develops. If it's dead in the water right now, do we have a match? Do we have a better? Let's see how this goes. Well, Frem, I'd love to pick your brain about this. Let's go into land. Now, those of you that are unfamiliar with the work of the Landmark Forum and EST training, ultimately they lost their way, but they were really onto something for a period of time. But go ahead and speak to, you brought it up. We're talking about how we're not good people tonight, and immediately you thought of Landmark. So talk to me about what's going on. What connections are you drawing there?
And you know, Landmark is distinct from EST training, even though one is derived from the other.
True.
EST
That's
training
true.
had to morph into Landmark education because they were too hard for the public's appetites. You know what I mean? Like they called the EST, much like, you know, has been happening to you lately, Guru. They called EST training a cult. They called it like brainwashing. But it's better than the modern day Landmark, which they don't have any effect. It's people that they want so badly to be effective that they'll pay $3,000 for a weekend and follow some alleged expert's instructions for 3 days and come out of it thinking that they've done some growth, had some change, done something worth doing. But it's not true. They're making it true, and that's kind of the package that Landmark is selling. You can bounce your dreams off of them, your very small dreams, I might say, and they'll make them come true in a sense.
And how did you gain this familiar? Well, we got Draw Comics. Namaste, Draw Comics. Welcome on in. This is Explorations with Leslie Tanner. This is the most, essentially, to boil it down, this is the most effective personal power program in the country. And tonight we are exploring the theme of you are not a good person. So Draw Comics, I don't know if you're familiar with this aspect of yourself or personality of how you are not a good person, but if you have not started picking at this scab, I can hardly begin to describe the power coursing through your veins right at this very moment. There's so much potential waiting inside you to be unleashed, and I'm so glad that you're here. Draw Comics, welcome on in. Can we get some namastes in the chat right now for Draw Comics? Please, just a couple of namastes, some welcome namastes for Draw Comics. Now, to get back to you, Fram, tell me, how did you arrive with this familiarity with Landmark? Did you mention that already? I might have missed it.
I forget. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But to get everybody up to speed, I was dating this girl in high school, and her dad, we said he was Asperger's back in the day, but in 2026, I think we've realized that Asperger's is just when you're an autist and an asshole. So he was extremely autistic and just that kind of like willful, oblivious that like, he's just like lazy. He's a lazy asshole. It's not even intentional.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And he constantly pushed this shit over the like, I don't know, year and a half I dated this girl. And near the end of that, I was finally like, okay, I'll go do the weekend course or whatever. He paid the $3,000 for it or whatever. But until that point, he had just been mentioning it constantly. And I was immediately like unsure about it. So I just started like looking into it and went back to EST training. You know, I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to like walk into a kidnapping or some shit, because that's fucking embarrassing.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned about EST training, and I learned about the Landmark Forum. That's what they call it. That's what their introductory program is called.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a weekend self-help course. Maybe we'll get into the details in a little bit, but that's why I was there, and that's how I know about EST training. Also, they do basically talk about it. Like, they don't exactly say that they're evolved from EST training, but they talk about some of the principles. And if you're familiar with both, it's immediately recognizable as just the earlier framework that EST used.
You know, it's like a blunted version of the EST training.
It really is.
It?
It's neutered.
Yeah, it's neutered. It's without the real balls, and there's that's an interesting on-ramp to be your ex's father trying to talk you into going into. Basically, I've heard more of that with like trying to get you to go to church or something, but he was just trying to get you to go to.
Essentially, this was the same shit.
Yeah.
But he was Jewish, and I went to temple all the time with them because they have really good fucking parties. Jewish people have amazing parties for most of their holidays. So I recommend everybody, get familiar with your Jewish community.
Yeah, party with Jews.
They get drunk as fuck at these things too. Yeah, it's great. I mean, Orthodox, not so much, but they don't mind keeping to themselves and just, being part of things, but also a part of things.
Right.
From things, I mean.
So it sounds to me like this, we could speak about Landmark and EST. Can we see some ones in chat right now if you were familiar at all with either Landmark or EST? Can we get some ones in chat if you were familiar, you heard the name, somebody went, you saw it get brought up in an article somewhere or something? Craigulators, I know, brother, Craigulators.
Oh, yeah. We could do the bunker episode on Landmark, bro. Think about it. Give me a call.
I would love that. Stone Monster, we got a 1 from Stony. Nigel, I think you'd like to learn about them.
Oh, you really would. To be clear, it's EST training that you're going to want to start with.
EST training. Yeah, Get some old Werner clips. Namaste, Drowning Jewel asking, am I a real person? Namaste, Drowning Jewel. Yes, I am real. I promise that. I not only am I real, but this program is real. Explorations with Leslie Tanner. This is not a joke. I mean, we joke around, but ultimately, this is the most effective personal power program on the market today, bar none.
Yeah, I misheard. I didn't realize we were referring to the guru here. He's definitely real.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess we could talk about what's real or what's not, but yes,
For
absolutely.
sure, but you know, we could just keep it at the guru, the tip of the iceberg, the TLDR, the guru is definitely real.
Yeah.
We can get into the metaphysics of it.
TLDR, yeah.
Yeah.
Namaste. What market? It's just a program. Namaste. Well, Fluxy's getting all big brained on us. Namaste, Flux. Thank you for that. Always keeping us on our toes. Now, would you ultimately, to kind of put a bow on what we're getting at here, would you go as, let's phrase it this way. We're just taking the piss out of the DSA, drawing some unspoken parallels between something like the DSA and something like the landmark forums. Like in terms of the function that they serve in people's, you know, inner psychological lives.
Yeah, you know, it was you and this topic that made me connect these dots. This isn't an idea I've had cooking.
And I could tell there's like an academic structure to this, and I love it. Now, would you personally feel comfortable go as far to say? Would you feel comfortable going as far to say that
success is fun and feels good because you are good when you do it?
That's true, and that's a bedrock truth. Now, would you feel comfortable going as far as saying that ideological groups serve very similar, if not identical, functions as these two groups we've been talking about?
I think that's very true. I think in absence of actual action, concrete action that you're taking, ideology is worse than useless. It'll hold you back. It'll turn you woke. You know what I mean? That's one of the symptoms, or one of the, you know, eventual states you'll find yourself in, maybe, is all of a sudden you're fucking woke now. It's like a mind virus. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, the woke mind virus, for sure. I mean,
Exactly.
it's
the WMV.
Yep. And it's a specific one that's claimed a lot of lives. Namaste. Comedic, namaste. You get some sleep. Blessings to you.
See, now, if these Twitter keyboard warriors would do a mass shooting in service of these ideals, then I would start to believe, you know, maybe a subset of the wokes, you know what's going on. There might be something there.
Well, it's like it's someone's like some brilliant sports strategist, but they don't actually do anything. They just have a fantasy sports league, and rather than, you know, go get involved somehow and show everybody. If you can't, like, you know, I was working with somebody with a severe dissociative disorder, and they said, "Oh, I'm actually an actor," and they're like, "Oh, really?" And then they just kind of regaled me with tales of their inner life being an actor. They have to get ready for their show, blah blah blah. Well, and I just had one question for them that led to an absolute breakdown. If you're an actor, why don't you act? If you're speaking about power, why don't you interact with it? Why haven't you even altered it slightly with anything that you have ever done? Or is it possible that you were afraid of your own penis and this structure is categorically designed to protect you from affecting power? Maybe somebody needs the program.
Yeah, and there's a whole false, like, ecology here. There's like, it's almost like a circle of life here, because I just lost the thought. What were you just saying? I just lost the thought.
That their theoretical nonsense, their ideological nonsense, is actually
These organizations provide a whole ecology for you to go in and change nothing about your life. Because the first stage, you know, is going to these meetings. And a lot of people, this is where it ends. They only go to these meetings. They go to these meetings, they talk about doing shit, they actually do nothing, and they go home and they feel good about it. A good chunk, but not all of these people, you know, they evolve into going to these so-called actions, these marches, these protests, you know, where they show up and follow, you know, most of the laws. They might break one or two, you know, symbolically, but they don't really, they don't say it with their whole pussy, you know?
Nor would they. Namaste.
Exactly, yeah. And so they go to these events and they feel like, oh, okay, now I'm really ready to go on Twitter. I'm really ready to go on Blue Sky and tell people that, you know, eating at Starbucks is morally evil. And that's the end stage. Now they're on social media. They're hanging out in the Discord. You know, we've seen this. You know, in the Discords we share between the, you know, Wuku and Leslie Tanner, kind of the centers of gravity here. But we witnessed this in our own communities.
And it's always, whenever it comes, it's cyclical. It comes up and it'll come up again. There's probably a little sleeper cell that doesn't even know that it's about to happen. But every once in a while, things get political. They feel as if things need to be serious, and then this conflict of ideology comes to a head within the program, and the program will always win because the program is built on this program is built on reality, plain and simple. The program is about reality, where your power is. That is what we deal with. That is our world. We do not tell ourselves fairy tales like tonight. You are not a good person. And some of us were brave enough to explore this, confront this foundational aspect of reality. And some of us, we were a little scared. We sat, you know, we lurked, we waited for others to step up. And people like you, Fram, people like you bravely stepped up, grabbed the bull by the horns, and guided us to an insight that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So thank you for your generosity tonight.
Yeah, you know, I really appreciate those words, but I mean, it's familiar territory for me. So,
of course,
you know, it's,
I'm not familiar with everybody though.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Well, thank you, Guru.
Of course.
If I could say one last thing.
Please.
I got to arrange it still, but Nigel Pennyweather, you know him in the community, has made a custom video at my request for the community. We're going to figure out a screening night so that we can witness, I don't know what to call it. What would you call Nigel's framework? What would you call what Nigel sells? Quite successfully, I should say, to the people.
What was that question?
What would you call what Nigel provides? That's easier. What would you call what Nigel provides to this community?
I mean, Nigel is such a he's tough to pin down. I think he doesn't believe in his own strength in a lot of ways. As we discussed our second favorite races the other night in the Devoted Light stream, it was tough. I knew he's a leader in this respect, but it was tough to get it going. But when he's in a pocket, he's got a lot of very sort of he has some bold beliefs that really enrich our experience in this community.
That is very true, and he provides it. The fact that he provides it without even really meaning to. Nigel is always just Nigel. And if you engage him on a topic, you know, that he's familiar with, he'll get excited and talk to you about it. But for the most part, it just happens organically. It's just what Nigel does. It's just who he is.
Right.
And in that way, like, Nigel just existing becomes, you know, a revolutionary act. This is what you get when you start taking action. Eventually you get to the point where you're like Nigel, and you don't even really have to do anything except inspire future generations.
Say that last part again.
I said, and you don't even really have to do anything when you get to that level except inspire future generations. But unless you have that gravity naturally, which I've never seen personally, you must take action, or your ideology is worse than useless.
Worse than useless, yeah. And we're gonna get a video. We're getting a video.
We're getting a video.
Beautiful. Well, we gotta set that up. We gotta set up a screening. Nigel, if you're comfortable with that, I'd love to just kind of get everybody in a room, you know, foster some discussion, just get the ideas out there. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfectly polished. Just let's get it going. Let's get some explorations discourse going.
Come speak what's in your heart.
Namaste. That's all I ask. Well, Fram, beautiful stuff tonight. Thank you so much for being so generous and closing us out with such a just really strong call tonight.
Thank you for having me. I had a really good time exploring this with you.
So did I. So did I. Well, namaste to you. Have a wonderful night, Fram.
Yeah, you too, Guru.
Wow. Beautiful stuff tonight. Everybody, absolutely wonderful job. I know it was a scary topic tonight to explore not being a good person, right? In some ways, exploring this runs counter to everything on social media, right? Social media mechanically is set up so that you don't even get close to thinking a quote unquote bad thought. That you're able to entirely deny and disavow even the possibility of being a bad person. But tonight, we had a select few in a titillating chat to confront this basic reality that we, both individually and collectively, are not good people. And by doing so, we dare to unlock and unleash the power of the next level. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Do you think I'm a good person, Kanye? No, I don't. Stone Monster, thank you for being here. XXV, blessings to you. Thanks for showing up and chiming in chat. Namaste to Flux, Laser. Flux, thanks so much again for the new poll stuff. Laser Focus, thanks for hanging out for so long. Purr, Namaste, Butterfly, Polo, Overturned Big Rig, blessings, guys. Listen, we'll see about the weekend. I got to test stuff, but we'll be back next week. Normal times. Namaste, everybody. I'll see you all very soon.